Hello, chat. Good evening. Hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the Thursday show. If you are new, I want to say hello. Welcome to the show. My name is Sean, also known as Potential Criminal. I am an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area, and I focus on criminal defense topics. And welcome to the weekly Thursday night show, episode 129. That's right, 129 weeks in a row. That's pretty cool when you think about it, how long of a timeline that is. 129 weeks. So, yes, welcome to everybody here. Welcome. Got to talk about tonight. If you guys saw, we're covering some very serious stuff all the way down to, people on TikTok committing wire fraud and check fraud. So, it's going to be a very fun night tonight. I want to say hello to everybody that's out there on Rumble and say it should be working. If it's not, let me know out there, guys. Rumble, Twitch, and YouTube. Also, and last but not least, Locals. If you guys have never been to Locals. Locals is at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. And Locals is basically everything we want Patreon to be, where it lets you do what you want. It doesn't care what you say as long as you aren't Fed posting and causing problems. And then it just lets you have fun. But you can't get that there. So they had to make something better. And they did. And it's been very good over there. At the community we have, it costs you nothing to join. So it's just like Patreon in that regard. You could post on the wall there in the community. You could comment, I will post and comment. It's a very fun time there. But if you wish to support me there, you can support me. They take a smaller cut than YouTube does. It's $3 a month there. You pay for 10 months, you get 2 months free. And along with that support, you get access to live shows. Those live shows, I think, are the best part. Every week we do them. Every Monday night, starting about 8:30, we hang out for quite a while. Usually about 2 to 3 hours. 3 hours about as long as Locals lets me go before they cut the stream off. And then every Thursday night, we always have an after show, because after the show, it's the after party. But that depends. Like last week, we went almost 4 hours. So the after show was very short. But some nights when this show is shorter, that show's longer. And sometimes it's usually like a balance. But we do that every Thursday night after this. Then we also do other fun stuff, like if Mr. Medicare's on, we'll stream snipe him. We will also do Formula One. That's always a fun time. So you guys could join us over there at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. You can use the promo code Booger Sugar and get 1 month free access to everything. And that's right, Booger Sugar. And if you like it, great. We'd love to see you there. If you like it, if you try it and you don't like it, there's no obligation after that. And also, I forgot to mention, we always do a live chat that's going every Thursday. And it's up right now. And if you guys are in there, it's a chat where you can say a whole lot of things if you want. You can say a lot of different things. And I generally try to see it. I try to react to what's going on over there because there is some funny stuff that pops up in there from time to time. So I always try to keep my eyes peeled for that. And that's at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. Save it, the shilling out of the way. Guys, we're going to get the whole Tim Pool thing. We're going to start off with that tonight. The other thing I wanted to mention is we do have a couple people I wanted to give shouts out to. One of the big ones is Dragon's Treasure, Haven for tea and anime lovers. If you guys like your tea, you can go to Dragon's Treasure. You can use the promo code CRIMINAL. You get 10% off. Not that the tea is going to be 10% off or you get 10% less. It's 10% off the total price. You get nothing but the best tea for 10% off with the promo code CRIMINAL. T-Man will take care of you. He's got all kinds of stuff up there, all kinds of brews for all your tea needs. Then you guys are... Oh, we already... Wow. Okay, hold on. Let me take care of this real quick. Stephen Cooper gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Stephen, for the support. Parallax been a member for 22 months. Thank you. That's like I said, when I start seeing the numbers like that, it's very humbling. I appreciate that. It's very... It's I appreciate seeing those. It means a lot. It really does. It means a lot. It says, use this to open a Denny's or a Subway or whatever. Well, thank you. Then Adam Wanton says, gifted 20 memberships. Thank you, Adam. Adam, thank you very much for your support, gifting 20 subs. Great way to start off Thursday night chat. Let's go. And yes, you want to support. That's right. We're going to make this a gray-free strat. Grays keep moving. This is a green neighborhood. It's after dark. It's sundown. Keep moving. Amateur Iconic Class gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. And Stephen Cooper is like, he's not going to be getting showed up. He's gifted 20 more. He raised 20. So thank you, Stephen. And then Snuno Stark for $10 says, just knocked out my moot court brief, oral arguments. Oh, knocked out your brief. Okay. Good. Well, that's glad it's out of the way. Good way to end the weekend. Oral arguments are next Tuesday. Thanks for the content and the support. Have shekels. Can this count as a retainer if I pop 200 miles east, 200 miles ever? Sure. You can pop in the state of Ohio. We'll talk. And by the way, I should mention, I'm only licensed in the state of Ohio. If you guys ever reach out for questions, certainly I'll be happy to answer them whatever I can or however I can in the best way I can. But yes, good luck this week. Good luck. So we use the term shilling here. I've never heard of it before. You guys, hold on here. What did I miss? Am I the next Rackets? No, I don't want to be the next Rackets. I'd like to be a lot of other things before the next Rackets. Oh, this is Stoney's T-Bar. No, guys, Aaron's back. I'm not going to do the Stoney's reads. The man is back in control of that. So I held down the fort for him. I merely carried the torch. Think about it like when you're talking about like the book The Road. I was just carrying the fire. And I passed it back off to Aaron. I drink only tea brewed by Clyde. Well, that would be very interesting tea. Because I don't know how he does it without thumbs. But that'd be very questionable tea, I'm sure. Is it brewed with the leaves he chews up? That barfs? Yes. And Settler says, Sean is suspiciously silent on Azerbaijan. Who's funding you, Sean? Well, it certainly ain't the Armenian government. I'll take Aliyev's oil money. I'll take Azeri oil money. Are you kidding me? They're friends of the West right now. I mean, they're bros with the Turks, considering they're pan-Turkic and all that. But right now, they're on our good side because they hate the Armenians, and the Armenians are, broskies with the Russians. So you can like them right now. That's the funny part about this whole international politics. As long as you're liking the right guys at the right time, you could do whatever you want. Dagamore says, I may be a dumbass. How do I turn on to receive gift memberships? Well, you are green, so you've received them. You have received gifts on your own. Jason Lazat says, am I taking money from Ukraine? Well, if I'm taking money from Ukraine, apparently it's not. Apparently they're not getting what they bargained for, unless they really wanted somebody to shit talk them. So, I guess that was a bad investment. You guys are talking about. Oh no, we're not. Oh, I would not do bullpen tea. Who asked that? No, we are not brewing tea with bull peens in it. No, that would be disgusting. All right, so we normally wait about 10 minutes, guys. Here we go. It is time to get rolling. The big news today, well, actually, it came out yesterday, but I already had stuff scheduled, so we're doing it today, is the issues with Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Lauren Southern, Lauren Chen, Dave Rubin, and Matt Christensen, and I don't know who the hell the other guy is. Anyway, they were so we'll start off with what is Tenet Media. So Tenet Media is kind of some of this cringe garbage right here. This is Tenet Media, and when you see it, oh my god, here's the funny part. I didn't even know this existed. And it's like, good Lord, this looks awful. This looks so bad. Oh, you could feel the cringe You could feel the cringe all the way over here. Look at this thing, chat. Look at this. This is them. Fearless voices live here. Yes, when you think of Tim Pool, yeah, it's complicated. That's a fearless voice. Yes, Dave Rubin did invent locals, and that's fine. This is this the liminal order? No, but it's about as gay. Yes, very gay. I mean, look at this thing. Look at it. Look at these motherfuckers. I try not to swear. I really made it. I made a. I'm trying to make a commitment not to swearing tonight, guys. But oh my god, look at this thing. Look at these people. They are fearless. They look so fearless and roar. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, what is Tenet Media? Tenet Media is a network of heterodox commentators that focus on Western political and cultural issues. I mean, I do agree with the idea of which way, Western man, in that you could be proud of Western civilization and have to refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. I think that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But this, holy Jesus. So much cringe, it makes me want to cry. Yes, our goal. Or our goal. I forgot the spaces here. Maybe they didn't get paid right. Is to support creators who question institutions that believe themselves to be above questioning. I guess I ain't getting no money here. All right. In our view, all issues du jour merit rigorous and honest discussions if one wants to come closest to the truth. For those interested in authentic coverage of the topics that matter most, Tenet Media is your home for content. Fearless voices live here. There we go. That's how they have to say it. Or fearless voices live here. Gotta say it with aggression. Like, Argh! Meet the talent. Lauren Southern, which not American, she's Canadian. Timmy Pool, the owner of Chicken City, and also Timcast. This guy, Taylor Hanson, I forgot his name, is a field reporter for Tenet Media. Okay. And then we have other people. Matt Christensen. I've actually watched the show once in a while. Not bad. Then you got Dave Rubin, who's gone all the way from the Young Turks. He went all the way from Young Turks with Jimmy Dore. That's where Jimmy Dore and Dave Rubin were getting their start in all this shit. That's the funny thing, chat, when you think about it. They all started on the Young Turks. And now they're all... Dave Rubin's all the way here. Which one replaced Jack Murphy? I don't know. And then Benny Johnson. Never watched his show, but he's on Twitter. And every once in a while, he spits out something good, but usually half the time. But that's the thing. When you're these big people on Twitter, it's usually feast or famine with your tweets, and you're getting ratioed, or you are the ratioer. So what happened with these guys? Well, Tenet Media is founded by Lauren Chen and her husband. If you don't know who Lauren Chen is, she is known as the roaming millennial, and she is a commentator as well. She's been part of the whole culture war zeitgeist and nonsense there. I mean, you can talk about the culture war, but are you talking on live streams about how to build explosives? I'm just saying, if you're going to be about that life in the culture war, I'm just saying, who doing that? Who doing that? Ain't none of them. Just saying, chat. Because I don't know who does that. I mean, you might know who does that, but I don't know. I don't know who's talking about explosives, building explosives on the internet or nothing like that. Anyway, there was a big issue there. So two former employees of Russia Today, were indicted for covertly funding and directing the company known as Tenet Media. And we're just gonna skip to the indictment because it's far more interesting to read. Because oh boy, this is okay. So this came out of the Southern District of New York. Oh my God, Sean, Helen Reed. Like Helen Keller here. Water, Helen, water. Okay. Now, here we go. PGT MR2, we'll get to what does this actually mean, because we're going to have to take a look at this. We're going to take a look at this, because this is a bit sussy. Well, that's going to be for, we're going to have to talk about that. What's actually sussy? So, Konstantin Kalashnikov. That's it. And then Elena Afantseva, also known as Lena, are the defendants. And RT, formerly known as Russia Today, is a state-controlled media outlet funded and directed by the government of Russia. That part's true. 100% RT, Russia Today, was Russian government television there, okay? After Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, RT was sanctioned, dropped by distributors, and forced to cease operations in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and the EU. Basically, anywhere but Russia, where they were trying to make money. Because, who cares else where they're going? That was the primary work. In response, RT created, in words of its editor-in-chief, an empire of covert projects designed to shape public opinion in Western audiences. Yes. As nations tend to do, they engage in covert influencing amongst themselves and their enemies. Is the nature of the game. Oh, God, it's not up. Jesus. I'm literally looking at you guys, and I don't see all you guys screaming, panicking, showing the screen, so that's why that threw me off. Because normally you guys I notice. So there we go. So here's the indictment. So RT is a state-controlled media outlet. And after Russia invaded Ukraine, they were forced to stop operations because of sanctions. One of their covert projects is funding the direction of a Tennessee-based online content creation company. Over the past year, RT and its employees, including Kalashnikov and Elena, that's a lot to say, that's a lot of A's, I'm not going to do it, have deployed nearly $10 million laundered through a network of foreign shell entities to fund and direct U.S. Company One. Company One publishes English language videos on multiple social media channels, including TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube, using multiple fake personas. She edited, posted, and directed the posting by U.S. Company One of hundreds of videos. Many of the videos published by U.S. Company One contain commentary on events and issues in the United States, such as immigration, inflation, and other topics concerning domestic and foreign policy. While the views expressed in the videos are not uniform, the subject and matter and content of the videos are often consistent with the government of Russia's interest in amplifying U.S. domestic divisions in order to weaken U.S. opposition to core government of Russia interests, such as its ongoing war in Ukraine. Although, to be fair, that is the White House's issue. I mean, a lot of people don't give a shit about the war in Ukraine. Some people see the war in Ukraine as a drain on our national resources. And if we have to go to war with China, which we're probably going to have to do, pissing away all of our weapons in a mud bog in the middle of Eastern Europe is probably not the way to do it. Because we can't rebuild them. We don't have the tooling, or the time, or the money. Maybe that's my concern. Maybe I'm not concerned about the fate of the Salo Reich. Maybe I'm not worried that Zelensky can keep doing cocaine. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Since publicly launching in about 2023, Company One has posted nearly 2,000 videos that have garnered nearly 16 million views on YouTube alone. That's really not that a lot for all the money they put in here. Okay, Company One never disclosed to its viewers it was funded by RT, nor did U.S. Company One or its two founders and executive principals, Founder One and Founder Two, register with the Attorney General as an agent of a foreign principal as required by law. And that becomes the issue here of what we're talking about. FARA, the Foreign Agents and Registration Act. All right, guys, it's been around since World War II. And it's an actual thing you have to do. This is actually probably the one thing most people in Washington are probably guilty of on a wider scale is being an agent of a foreign government. And the DOJ has a whole thing about it. The Foreign Agents Registration Act. They wrap up people in this all the time. Okay? It was enacted in 1938. And they have filings. You can search their filings. You can search for people. You can search for everybody out there. You can search by field. You can search for their registrations or supplements. You can search by name. You can do whatever you want to find out who these people are. So it's very interesting the information that's out there. You can find out if people are and here's the thing, people are agents of a lot of different governments. Friendly governments. If you happen to be hired by the British government to lobby on behalf of their interests here in the United States, which they can have, that can happen. You have to fill out a FARA registration. You might be here doing stuff on behalf of the Russian government. You got to register. You're here on behalf of the Swedish government. You got to register. You're here on behalf of the Canadian government. You have to register. So there is no real limit to this. Anybody can. Yes, we'd like to think if you're doing stuff for the nation of Israel, you have to register. If you're doing this for that or the others, you'd have to register. If you happen to be in the CIA at one point, now you're a reporter, I think you should have to disclose that. Anderson Cooper. I'm sorry. That was a little bit of cough. But you should be able to, and you should have to let it be known. Operation Mockingbird, Google it. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. I should have blocked out those coughs. My apologies, chat. No, but really, do you have to register for Israel? You don't have to register for it. Here's just like every foreign law, just like every U.S. law. If the federal government has determined you haven't broken it, then you're fine. You know, just like whether or not some of these guys going to fight in the Ukrainian army, if they've received, they've become NCOs or possibly received a commission in it, are they still, have they forfeit their U.S. citizenship? Yes. Should they be concerned? Should we jail these people for possibly being in, militant organizations? Who really knows? If you're fighting in a war the government likes, it's okay. You can do what you want. If you're fighting in a war they don't like, or you're opposing them, well, then, yeah, that becomes an issue. But you can search through everything that's out there. If you receive money, you have to disclose the money. And here's the thing, even with FARA, here's the crazy part about FARA. If you're doing FARA and you're an agent and you dole out money, so you're paying out for things, you have to tell them that too. So when you see here this thing saying dissemination report, that's a report you fill out where you have to include, here's who I gave money to, because that way the public has a right to know, okay, you're representing government X, and that government gave you money to give to people. So we now know those people are advocating on behalf of government X or taking government X's money. It's very important. It's a very important thing, and it's a very serious thing. If you get hammered on it, yeah, you're kind of boned. But you also see people getting away with it from time to time. John Podesta's brother, Tony Podesta, is famous for having to retroactively file FARA registration, and DOJ is like, it's all good. So it really all depends who you are and where you're coming from. Now, yes, if this is enforced, the entire government be registered as a foreign agent of Israel. I'm just saying. That is an issue. But I don't disagree, Chess Channel. But that's between us girls. Shh. That's between us girls. All right, let's get back to this indictment. We got a little bit to go through here. So Founder 1 and Founder 2, along with the Russians, worked together to deceive two online commentators, Commentator 1 and Commentator 2, who respectively have our 2.4 million and 1.3 million YouTube subscribers. Well, I mean, we can figure out who those people are, because we have an idea, because who works for Tenet Media, and it's, there's some people who has 2.4 million subs. Looks like this guy. Dave Rubin, 2.45 million subscribers. Okay. And then we can look at the next guy. You know, who is the next guy here? Well, the next guy has 1.3 million. And who has 1.3 million? And really, you should think about this way. Who are the two most important people that were on that? Well, we got our boy, your boy, Timothy Poole, the mayor of Chicken City. 1.37 million subscribers. So there you go. Now let's keep going. So they worked together to deceive these two. Founder 1 and Founder 2 contracted with them to produce videos using their own names and leveraging their existing audiences for license and publication by the company. Founder 1 and Founder 2 worked together to mask the U.S. company's true source of funding, which I would argue it sounds like Lauren Chen may have engaged in a conspiracy to commit FARA violations. Although they are not indicted here. They are not in this indictment. I mean, you could almost call them an unindicted co-conspirator. If you've ever heard that term. Another thing I would point out, Lauren Chen and Lauren Southern are both Canadians. Maybe they're going to get wrapped up in the Canadian government's issues. I don't know. The Blaze fired her ass today. Well, that's a good fucking job. But, if I was those two, I'd be very terrified because, let's be real, the Canadian government isn't really big on free speech. And they're worse than the United States. I really wouldn't be, I guarantee they could black bag you and take you to a fucking black site at that point in Canada. So, Lauren Southern and Lauren Chen, they better watch themselves. This is not a good look. This is not good news for them. This is not good news for them. They could still also get charged here in the United States because remember, Kalashnikov and Kostya and Lenya are both not American citizens, and they're going to be prosecuted under laws of the United States. So these two could be subject to it as well. Just like I wonder if they even could get entry into our country right now. I'm Phasing says PPP and Worski are funded by an Israeli agent, Gabe Hoffman. That's not it. That's not it. If he's really doing that, we will remove him. So, just acknowledging that. Did Tim Poole say he was a victim? Well, I mean, it says here he was deceived. At least according to the feds, they think he was deceived. So let's keep going here. Now, they claim Company 1 was sponsored by a private investor named Edward Gregorian. Okay, with the two N's, that just seemed weird. In truth, in fact, Gregorian was fictional. And for example, during contract negotiations, Dave Rubin wanted to see him. Told Lauren Chen, I will provide an article or profile on him. In response, they sent him a one-page profile provided by another fictional persona purporting to represent Gregorian, describing him as an accomplished finance professional who held various positions in Brussels and France at a multinational bank, including director of private banking division and wealth management. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I think is that thing in here where they show it? Oh, wait, no, it's not. Sorry. I got to go back and grab it. It's you didn't even bother going to look, but this is so damn funny. I get approached for crap. I'm nobody. And there are these scam artists and people out there that are trying to approach me and get involved in things. It happens all the time. Like, this is just so stupid. And here's Edward Gregorian. Here is the fake thing that Dave Rubin saw. This thing right here. This is the fake profile. I think this is here somewhere, but I want to double check. Yeah, it's okay. Hold on here, chat. It is. Oh, I just saw it. Oh, sorry, chat. It's here actually on the page. So here's his fake profile. Now, I think this was in a little better quality when they got it, and it's been put into a document. But why did you bother going to check the fucking bank this guy worked at? Like, I would. I'd want to know a little bit about who some random fucking guys like, yes, this Dave Rubin gentleman, I used to give him premium rubles. I mean, dollars. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Come on now. You guys are saying, what about Crowder? You're trying to get people to stop being hateful. We don't do snitching, though, honey. So just govern yourself accordingly. Where's here? Somebody said Crowder left during a contract. For once, Steven Crowder did something not completely fucking retarded. Good for him. Good for him. This is, yeah. So this is it. This is what they had. And Dave Rubin's like, oh, good for me. And the guy probably said, I read your shitty book, Dave. Oh my God, thank you. All right. So, wait, where did... Okay, there we go. Sorry. Just wondering where that went. So they talk about the background influence on Russian influence operations. Yes, that's how governments work. That's what they do. So RT's chief has acknowledged it must complete tasks given by the state. Yes. And they promoted objectives of the Russian government. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you take their money. RT's propaganda is most obvious when it reports on matters important to the government of Russia, such as public opinion about Ukraine and the United States. Yeah. And they claim that one of the researchers was told, what are we going to do about Brexit? Anything that causes chaos is RT's line. You'd almost think that's just journalism, period. Remember, if it bleeds, it leads, chat. If it bleeds, it leads. So that sounds pretty much like that. I'm just saying. That's how I see it. Anyways, they talk about, once again, about sanctions, and that sanctions shut them down. But RT itself is boasted despite its bans. The government of Russia continues RT to direct disinformation and propaganda at Western audiences. Yep, they do. And in February, their editor-in-chief said during a TV appearance that public opinion in the West is changing very rapidly and cheerfully, due in part to RT. No, it's just kind of doing it because people are noticing that it's turning into a disaster in whole land. But they point out that RT had built an enormous network, an entire empire of covert projects that is working with public opinion, bringing truth to Western audiences. Well, I mean, it's their lies or the mainstream media's lies, so I guess you get to choose your pick on which lies. And U.S. Company 1 is the effort. Now, they talk about who these people are. So, Mr. Kalashnikov is the citizen of the Russian Federation, an employee of RT. He's the deputy chief of the Digital Media Projects Department. So he's not just some random rum-dum running the floor buffer at night. As a member of an internal email distribution list reserved for its leaders, which means they must have got some intelligence operations done on RT, which makes you can spy on a foreign corporation. That's fine. So I'm wondering what they have there. So they claim that Founder 1 introduced Kalashnikov to the U.S. Company 1 employees as a purported outside editor, and he edited U.S. Company 1 content without disclosing he was working for RT. He also participated in the messaging group, covered by solely of Kalashnikov, Founder 1, Founder 2, and an individual purporting to act as a representative of Company 1, Edward Gregorian, the investor. But remember, these are all fake people talking to each other. In that messaging group, Kalashnikov monitored the funding, hiring, contract negotiations with Dave Rubin and Tim Pool. Then they have this lady who she's a producer for RT. Okay, dealing with overseas affairs and news. Yep. Very likely these people also have some sort of role of reporting to the SVR or the FSB. The FSB being Russian domestic intelligence or the SVR Russian foreign intelligence. They probably do at some level. I don't know what they do. They might have ties to the GRU Russian military intelligence. Who really knows? But they probably do at some point if they're involved in these operations. Because remember, it's no different than the CIA doing operations. You're involved with these people sowing discontent via media operations there. So Founder 1 and Founder 2 are foreign nationals who reside in the United States. Yes, Lauren Chen and her husband, although I thought her husband was a U.S. citizen. They are the only authorized signatories for the business checking account, which is held at a bank in the U.S. And before operating, Founder 1 and Founder 2 worked directly for RT and its affiliates. Yes. So Lauren Chen worked for RT, and they was their, her Canadian company she had, and she did work for there. And then they talk about what they did there. To create content pursuant to Founder 1's written contract, 1 and 2 worked with 2 individuals who later joined Company 1. RT invited Lauren to appear on RT television programming, created a dedicated page to identifying Lauren as a contributor and featuring her articles, and provided a letter on RT letterhead designated her and her husband as essential workers during the COVID-19 pandemic. Woof. Woof. Let's presume, here's the deal. Are the feds lying? Don't know. Don't know if they're lying or not. Yeah, it's funny how they wait for all this to sit. I mean, it sounds like they knew about this a while ago, and now, yes, it's funny, the timing, but hey, they time it when they time it. That's what happens when you don't control the levers of power. But yes, a Canadian woman of Chinese heritage working with the Russians. I'm sure she's compromised by the Chinese government too. I doubt they're concerned about that. So they have multiple ties with with RT, going all the way back. So let's get to where they talk about what happens with U.S. Company 1. Okay, it's incorporated in Tennessee. Okay, they talk about what they're going to do here. And they said they applied with the Tennessee Department of State to transact business under its current operating name, which it describes itself as a network of heterodox commentators that focus on Western political and cultural issues. Huh. Where did we see that, chat? And has 6 commentators, including 1 and 2. Wait, who did we just... There's 6 people up in that thing we were looking at, wasn't there? Yeah. Oh, Beloved Dictator saying Lauren Chen didn't move to Nashville until after fall of 2021. So let's see here. Where did they... But it doesn't say when did they actually... in their private correspondence to RT, in the written contracts, for example, on or about May 12th, 2021, Founder 2 messaged 1 on Discord. Which, this is the part where I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is Lauren Chen and her husband. We're billing the Russians from the corporation, right? And then later she said, also the Russians paid, so we're good to bill them for the second month, I guess. Why would you be communicating with somebody like your wife on Discord? I mean, that's just a little weird. A little weird to me, but And also, I say we bill the Russians for the last months when we're done with the extra op-eds. And then the Russians had offered paid leave to Founder 1. Oof. Discord more like D's feds. They were gaming, yes. Yeah, well, guys, that's worse is using Discord or anything for once again, chat. Once again, chat, Stringer Bell is evergreen.
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
Just come on now. Just come on. So they point out Tenet regularly posts videos featuring its commentators and other videos that don't feature the commentators. Okay. To support production, they employed 3 staff producers, 1, 2, and 3, and a third individual. Purported editing outside firms staffed it, and then, among others, those 2. And they talk about the Foreign Registration Act. We've talked about this. Conduct requiring it includes political activities, acting as a publicity agent or information service employee. So if I were to start doing information about like, hey guys, let's travel to Ukraine, or working up, saying like Ukraine's a great place. Yes. And like I said, dispersing money for in the interest of a foreign principal. That's the most interesting thing with foreign agents, is looking at their dispersal reports. Because when they talk about when they disperse money, that's where you find out what's going on. So that's the real key. If you ever want to look people up, it's who they're giving money to. And that includes political donations. FARA registration are made at the DOJ's National Security Division. And it's a crime to willfully fail to register when required under FARA. And the FARA is to prevent covert influence by foreign principals. And like I said, guys, it goes back to 1938. This was to combat German Nazi influence prior to World War II. So this isn't a brand new thing. It's been around forever. FARA registrants are required to publicly label, are required to label information transmitted in the U.S. with a conspicuous statement disclosing the materials are distributed by an agent on behalf of the foreign principal. So they talk about now how this all worked. And they use the fictitious name Edward Gregorian. The 3 purported representatives were Persona 1 and 2 other ones, Persona 2 and 3, to launch a YouTube channel initially under the name Viewpoint Productions. And then in 2023, they told Chen, your first task is to find a personality who can serve as the face of the channel. And for the right candidate, we're willing to pay $1 to $2 million a year. There's a lot of money at stake here. So they set out, they do influencer talent scouting services. And founder 1 is listed as the agent. Okay. And not as like agent under FARA. Yes, Dagobah, who funded all the trips to China for walls? I agree, that's an issue. And they went along, there were some Hungarian shell entities, which I have no idea about. I don't think that's been set up yet. In exchange for Lauren Chen's services, she got $8,000 a month, plus a percentage of any deal she closed with the influencers. Over the next several months, while she negotiated the contract, she accepted interim payments and began to scout for the new YouTube channel for Edward Gregorian. In 2023, she solicited Dave Rubin and Tim Pool to perform work. Now, here's the great part. So there was a short list of people they wanted. So remember, this Persona 1 is one of the fake accounts emailing Lauren Chen, giving commentator 1, Rubin, and Pool in the same email. And they attached a receipt for $8,000 from an entity in the Czech Republic. Like, this is all, if you didn't realize you're getting money from random fucking places, Jesus Christ, guys, that should stand the hairs up on the back of your neck. No, I would like things run through an American company, an American bank, or something that's normal, like the Royal Bank of Scotland or Credit Suisse. But you're getting like random, like, oh, here's some money from the Czech Republic. Here's some money from Hungary. It's like, what the fuck? And they say our Czech sister company. This is just the Czech shell company had a website purporting to sell automobile parts, but also listing unrelated services. Cyber Armor Suite, fortifying your digital defenses. The website makes no mention of all the bullshit they mentioned before. So they keep going with this, and they reached out to Dave Rubin and were speaking with him. And they both, him and Tim, with respect to Tim Pool, he said a contract will be well over $2 million a year. Our boy Timmy knows his worth. Tim Pool knows his worth, chat. This is Rich Homie Quan died. Oh no. Oh no. Sula says, couldn't they set up an LLC? It's not that easy. Yes. Russian Sketchiness LLC. Oh. So, and they get to the next day, the Persona 1 responded that Mr. Gregorian, and yes, misspelling the name, was okay with over 2 million as long as you get the right people under the right conditions. And they said that they reached out to Rubin and Poole, and Founder One advised that Dave Rubin said it would need to be closer to 5 million a year for him to be interested. And Tim Poole said, I would need $100,000 per weekly episode to make it worth his while. Oh my God, Tim, I will say this much. Timmy Poole is playing fucking hard ball. I will say, man, that beanie can grift. Listen to that. I need 100 G's for every weekly episode. Not like I'm going to do one episode a week, and I need 100 bands, man. 100 bands. Damn. Hey, Tim's a greedy fuck, dude. Good for him. Good for him to make it worth his while like that. Even Dave Rubin, I applaud that. Them walking in there and being like, I need 5 mil to do this for you. You want my time? 5 mil. And they're like, okay. It's like, wow. That is a combo breaker, chat. Spoony Samurai saying, did the same 50 intelligence officers sign up for the support like the Hunter Biden laptop? I would say Tim Poole's reaction, along with Dave Rubin's reactions, bailing out of this, I think kind of point out that this is probably true at this point. Would I ask for 150 G's? Yes. Yeah, I'd be like, look, put a 1 and put a 5 on there and 2 zeros, and you got a deal. How much are you doing it for every week, Sean? $50. $50. Yeah, this is just wow. Wow, boys. They went all in. Founder One cautioned that from a profitability standpoint, it'd be very hard for Viewpoint to recoup the cost for the likes of Dave Rubin and Tim Poole based on ad revenue from web traffic alone. So they're told this, y'all gonna lose money. And despite the warning they would not be profitable to employ them, they said we would love to move forward with Dave Rubin and fucking Tim Poole. I mean, how is that not a red flag? I'm sure Dave Rubin and Tim Poole gave like fuck you numbers. Like, because I've done this before. And other attorneys have also done, other attorneys, other people do this. How much will it cost you to do a job? $50,000. It's like, change the light bulb. I'll do it for $50,000. That way, it's like, I'm giving you a quote nobody will ever do. And they're like, sold. You're like, what? I'm sure that was their reaction. Oh, so anyway, they're going to pay $10 million for fucking Tim Poole. Yeah, but I don't think Tim Poole made the money back. But remember, guys, this is an intelligence operation. So you don't really care about the return on the money. You care about the ability of that to affect policy among the populace you're attempting to influence. So in February, Chen sent an email introducing Tim Poole to Edward Gregorian and the two fake people. The parties arranged a call between Tim and Gregorian, which took place on February 22nd. In scheduling the call, Tim requested that Gregorian call Tim's cell phone. Instead, they asked, can the call take place on WhatsApp or Zoom? Both applications offer encrypted communications and the ability to place voice calls through VoIP technology capable of obfuscating the location of the caller. And they said that Lauren had spoken with Tim, who was happy with the licensing arrangement that was discussed, and Tim's call with Gregorian. So Tim spoke to this guy. The founder continued, however, that Tim would still like to know more about the company and who we'll be working with. Chen added that she had assured Tim that as we finalize the contract to begin working to put a show together and coordinate the launch, everyone will have time to know each other better and feel less like strangers. Yeah, see, bullshit. I want to know the people. I want to know who you are before I'm getting into bed with you. Fuck that. Fuck that, guys. I mean, wow. 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 Yeah. So, well, Tim Pool's asking it to seize. No. No. So we'll get to that. Like, guys, they are not being accused. They're being accused of just being guys taking money, being paid. They said they spoke with Dave Rubin, who would like the material to learn more about him. Okay, so Lauren asked for any press releases, interviews that we could forward Dave about Edward. And they said they were unsure that he gave out any public interviews, but you could send him the LinkedIn page or the hyperlink to a LinkedIn page. They also attached another $8,000 money transfer from the Czech Republic. Okay. And then they say that on or about April 21st till the 24th, Lauren performed Google searches for Gregorian in the bank involving Edward Gregorian. As of on or about August 2024, neither Google search returns any results for a person by that name. So I wonder if the feds raided Lauren Chen or they were just snooping on her and electronically surveilling her. That's a very interesting issue. Was she subject to like a FISA warrant? She very well could have been. And were they snooping and surveilling on her? I mean, remember, she's not a United States citizen as far as I can aware. She's a foreign national. Well, the rules are a little different for her. You know, who was snooping on her? How are they snooping? What did they find out? I don't know, chat. I don't know. So how do they know what she looked at? Eric's saying, what propaganda do they spread, though? It's not the... Remember, here's the point. The point is that what they did or did not do. It's the fact that foreign money was being paid for and that it wasn't being reported properly. That's the issue here. That's what's probably Lauren Chen's going to get indicted for, is conspiracy to violate FARA. Tim Pool and Dave Rubin are clear. They're not going to be charged with anything. They've already cleared out that these guys were not involved in any of that. They were just hired and they took money. So that is... Oh, they were raided by the investigators as the DOJ indictment dropped. Okay, well, there you go. So, yes, and they haven't found any pages describing Edward Gregorian as a finance professional affiliated with Bank One. And if she had stopped right there, she'd probably be freaking clear of this. So on or about April 24th, they emailed her and said, really insisting some materials that before Dave Rubin moved forward, is there anything we could provide it with? And they said, we'll send you a profile that you could send over. And then they sent the CV, and this is that bullshit they sent Dave Rubin. This is the fake thing. Apparently, I'll send something to Dave Rubin now. Bob Boberson works at a bank in Thailand. I mean, look at this thing. That's like, seriously, like, why can't we know? I want to Google this shit and see why she couldn't find it. I bet this is a fucking stock photo, too. If you were to check it out, I bet this is a stock photo. And they said Bank One's affiliate in the U.S. has no record of an Edward Gregorian ever being employed by Bank One, nor is set forth above. Do Google searches yield any results for that name? Other irregularities in the email correspondence further signal the Gregorian and his purported representatives were all fake persons. For example, Persona 1 misspelled the surname of his boss as Gregorian, which is, I think, typically how you expect to see it spelled, at least 4 separate times. Persona 3 sent an email to potential influencer copying Lauren, signed the email as Edward Gregorian rather than as Persona number 3. And chat, this is what happens when you run sock accounts. This is what happens. When you run sock accounts, you fuck up, and then you accidentally cross-post, or you quote somebody else's shit, and you enter arguments in the wrong account. This is why sock accounts are never good. Don't do sock accounts, or if you are, be very disciplined. Be very disciplined in your work. No, that's an AI photo with the face blurred. Okay. We'll do reverse image search. I don't have the actual image to look for. That's not, I don't think you can look for it through that. Take notes, Nick. Well, yes, don't touch. Well, be careful which socks you're touching. Yes, I agree, tech guy. You have to be careful. And they said, an email expressed confusion, and he quickly responded by, Edward forwarded this email to me and asked me to replay it on his behalf. Replay it. Well, that sounds very awkward, like you don't understand English. Beloved Dictator says, Ruben employs young college dropouts to produce a show. I doubt they'd be able to fact check Russian intelligence cover-ups. Yeah. And Shade Chaser also says, who can I sue to get Ireland's weather here to Ohio? They had a cold summer. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. I caught it before you guys said anything. So, yes, he signed the email as Gregorian rather than as Persona 3. And then he says, Edward forwarded this email and asked me to replay it. And that is funny. You can tell when people who are not English speakers as a primary language, because they will drop hints, and it's easy to tell if you're playing with them. So, further evidence confirms that Gregorian and Persona 1 through 3 were in truth the same person. Oh. Yes, I got a haircut. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. 2.0 is very happy. Did I get a Hitler? Hitler, you get a haircut? No. No, I just got the normal invading Poland haircut. Besides, this is not a drop. This is not a drop fade, I promise you. This is far from a drop fade. If that's what you're thinking of. No, I am not. This is not what I would get if I was taking a Panzer company through the Ardennes. This is not that type of haircut. If Tim was CIA, he'd have a head full of hair. Oh. Alt-right, Sean. Well, is this what it takes for me to be considered alt-right? Got like 130 episodes worth. Oh, that's coming apart. That's not good. All right. Oh. Why do I have these on right now? I'm not hunting U-boats. I don't need the sound. That was stupid. All right. So, on or about July 2024, the email accounts used by Gregorian and number 1 to communicate with Chen were accessed from the same IP address around the same time. Well, she wouldn't know that. Around that time, Persona 1 drafted the text of an email to Persona 2, which then pasted in an email and sent from Founder 1 from Person 2's email account. Now, this part right here shows you, yes, they were definitely involved. Like, how would they know to surveil those accounts and get into them? They had warrants for that. They've been surveilling this. I think that makes it clear. Oh, show screen boomer. Oh, God damn it. Ah. Got cocky, chat. The hubris caught up with me. So we'll do this here again. So this issue is with the email was texted. The text of a draft from Persona 1 was sent to Persona 2, which Persona 2 then pasted into a new email to Lauren Chen. This right here indicates, chat, there was some surveillance going on, because how would they know to read the emails? How would they know to read the emails at that point? How would they know to read the emails? Yes, buy a hat for your Yoshanka. Yes. TYT's having a field day. Yeah, well, there's just as much money floating around. It's just other people haven't been caught yet. And, Chunk Yogurt, I'm sure, is not too far away, really, if we're looking for money. And I'm sure that him and Hassan Abi are not taking money from the Turkish government at all. That probably can't be happening. Or other governments involved. Because it's all weird how, like, the Ukrainian government has, like, so many people pushing for it. That's always weird to me. That's always weird. So, Put a post and let's just share a screen when you stream. No, I always look over. Dave Rubin fell off hard, so not a big deal, yeah. Young says, guys really use haircut terms. Well, yeah, if you have to go in and tell somebody I want a drop fade, or you have to tell them what you want, yeah. You want finger length, you know, guys have bangs too. Guys' room says, is it okay if I don't care about Russia? And I understand that. I don't think you have to. You're allowed not to. I'm just pointing out how fucking retarded this is. Like, this wasn't even a well done op. It was very lazy. And on May 12th, Founder One reported that Dave Rubin had a problem with the profile we sent over, specifically the reference to social justice. Oh, where does this guy talk about social justice? Born, okay. Mr. Gregorian is deserved. He has a thing talking about social justice. Where is this? Social justice. Russia's not sending their best. Well, yeah. Oh, well, whatever. Dave Rubin's like, it says social justice. Ah! I think it may be because that's usually a term used by liberals, but we're trying to create a conservative network. And she suggested that Dave Rubin and this guy could speak together. Okay. So this is the funny part. They circulated an email to Lauren Chen and to Dave Rubin's assistant scheduling the Zoom meeting for 5 p.m. Paris time that day. And Paris is 7 hours ahead. So that'd be 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern time or 11 a.m. Eastern time. It's only 6 hours ahead, I think. Yeah, hold on. Paris time zone it's European Central Time. Okay. Yeah, so Paris, New York is only 6 hours. It's UTC 1. Dave Rubin purchased a child. Yes, well. And Ben Addicted says, whose funds TYT? Probably Soros. Yes, Lauren Chen is a CCP plant. She very well could be. Wouldn't surprise me. So, she very well could be. Dave Rubin did buy 2 kids. Yes, he did. All right. So, Founder One represented another political commentator that Edward Gregorian was based in Paris. At approximately 8:58 a.m. Central Time that day, Edward replied to his email earlier saying, I am here, guys. In fact, the time was 3:58 p.m. in Paris, but it was 5 o'clock in Moscow. Approximately 2 minutes later, Gregorian performed a search for Google in time for Paris, which once again shows you he was being surveilled by the intelligence community. How would they know? Like, there's no way the government would know that unless they were surveilling him. And then he said, sorry, wrong hour, didn't sync the calendar. After further negotiations in which Founder 2 participated, and the purported representative of Gregorian, both Dave Rubin and Tim Pool signed up. Tim's production company, Dave Rubin's production company and Tenet would do 4 weekly videos to be hosted by Commentator and 1 in live stream by Tenet in exchange for a monthly fee of $400,000 plus a $100,000 signing bonus and additional performance bonus. Rubin's production company agreed that any and all content shall be the property of Tenet. Timothy Pool's contract, which is between Commentator 2 and did that between Tenet, provided for weekly videos to be hosted in exchange for a fee of $100,000 per video. Oh, that's oh God. Girl, get your records on. Timmy, 100 G's per video. My hat's off to you, sir. $100,000 per video. God damn. And listen to this shit. A non-exclusive, non-transferable license during the applicable license term to display, transmit, and distribute the licensed content. Jesus Christ! Like, Tim Pool fucking whipped his dick out and rubbed it in their face, and they're just like, all right, whatever. God. That is impressive. They get a non-exclusive, non-transferable license for the term of the contract, and Tim retained all rights. Yes, that's the Culture Wars show, not Timcast IRL. Yes, but god damn, Timmy. That is a brilliant deal. Tim fucking I guarantee he thought he put him over a barrel, and they're just like, okay. Coke Fairy says, how are they making money back on the deal? No. This isn't, okay, chat. This is not about money. This is an intelligence operation. Just like the CIA, they'll do things where they do like influencing, like a color revolution. They're trying to influence and manipulate public opinion. It's an intelligence op. You're not supposed to make money on it. You're trying to change things. Literally, the Russian intelligence organizations working through RT were trying to change viewpoints on like the war in Ukraine, among other topics. So there's no like, yeah, sometimes these things actually do happen to make money once in a while, but it's an actual gay op. This is like the top tier of gay ops because it has funding from foreign intelligence organizations. Like literally the SVR, like the Foreign Intelligence Service of Russia was like literally involved in this. There's no way they weren't. These people were working on behalf of them or the Russian military intelligence, the GRU. Like, I'm not joking. Like, well, hopefully this page isn't being taken down, but like they are definitely working for Russian intelligence. It's all about influencing. It's no different than what we do. We have like Radio Free Europe, and that's meant to, like during the Cold War, that was meant to sow discord and discontent and manipulate public opinion behind the Iron Curtain. We still use it to combat Russian influence and also just make sure that U.S. interests, I mean, we'll use it just to ensure pro-U.S. interests are pushed out in Europe in general. So, yes, we manipulate things everywhere, too. You know, like, we all do this shit. I mean, literally, it's these guys right here. Toto Vader says they aren't dictating what they're saying because that's not how it works. And we'll get to what's going on here. Yes, Radio Free Europe's still going today strong. Yeah, and like I said, we do ops like this too. We do ops like this all the time. But and if you do it in America, it's illegal. Just like if you do it in Russia, it's illegal. But this is the Russian government's foreign intelligence services. Okay? Like, this is literally their version of the CIA. And yes, they are protecting the individual and external threats stipulated by Russian law. Like, they are a real organization doing real work. So it's never about money. It's never about money. And I hope I wasn't being mean when I say that. It's not about the money. They, I mean, to be fair, though, you spent like however many millions of dollars and Tim Pool was your best thing. It's like probably not a good return. So, but guys, Tim Pool's like, we're going to keep getting here. Okay. So, and like I said, this is a bit of a deep dive, but we got to cover it because this is important. So Chen worked to recruit Dave and Tim to work on behalf of Gregorian, and they began negotiating. All right. They talked about pre-tell and staging. Your scope of work is similar to now. And they talk about signing Dave and Dave Rubin and Tim Pool. So they keep going. They talk about the private message of these guys in Discord. Discord is not safe, guys. Don't use Discord. And they say that these guys, the investors, have full rights to the IP. So if we grow the platform, they could still take it away. They say we own the channel, but they own the rights to the content. And, they're worried about trying to keep their platform and how to do it, so it's clear they're running the platform. So they keep going through people. They talk about Commentator 3. They go through the rest of this here. They keep talking about her monthly fee for doing work. That she gets a fee of 25 grand after signing 1 and 2. There's a lot that goes on here. They have not only the Hungarian shell company and the Czech shell company, but also a UK shell company that doesn't have a website. Like, these guys are fucking idiots, not checking any of this. And then, yes, so eventually here's where it gets to. So in May, there's a private Discord server comprised of Kalashnikov 1 and 2, the persona, the investor Discord channel. On approximately 38 occasions in or about January, the account was accessed from a Moscow-based IP that was also used to access Kalashnikov's personal Gmail account on 10 occasions. Yes. So Chen's husband joined the Discord channel, and they're talking, and they're going over things. And they talk about submitting invoices to Persona 1 and to press for payment of the invoices. And they say, today marks 2 weeks since I submitted the invoice for August. Any idea for the delay? We are signing the contracts, and we need to be certain we can get the funding to pay people. Persona 1 didn't respond. Well, while awaiting reply, Founder 1 searched for the current time in Moscow. Specifically, it was 8:50 p.m. Central Time on September 11, 2023. And he searched at Google time in Moscow, and the fact it was 4:50 a.m. So they realized they were communicating with Russian people. And it's like, Jesus. Like, fucking idiots. They're just... So they talk about the actual beginning of the operations now. And they go through everything these guys did in the Discord company servers. I mean, if you guys weren't thinking Discord is working with the feds, I mean, I don't know if Discord's a glowy op or not, but it's heavily... I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. This is insane. Just absolutely ridiculous. And they talk about Commentator 4 who's involved now. I don't know which one that is. It's not clear. Some of these other commentators and Commentators 5. This whole thing just turns into a shit fest quickly. And they steer the marketing for messaging for RT. I mean, here's the thing, guys. They were wanting them to push things and talk about certain things. And that's what they talk about this, okay? And they say that they were building a new platform for independent media with the 6 creators, mainly 1 through 6. So what do they do with that? Well, that's where we talk about how they're going to be involved here. Where is it? They do... there's a lot of people, like a lot of bullshit names. You see in the names popping up in here. It's all the same people. So, for example, they talk about... how to start talking about certain types of videos, certain types of things. Well, like one of the things they talk about is the March terrorist attack on the music venue in Moscow, which killed 145 people. And that was done, I think, by Tajik terrorists, some Tajikistani ISIS guys. And they said, I don't know if you saw it, but they wanted me to post some footage from an attack in Moscow today. There's a watermark in the middle of the page that's blurred, which looks bad, but it's also pretty graphic. You can see people getting shot from far away. I mean, you guys haven't seen that video. It's pretty fucking gnarly. They walked in and just fucking and lit everybody up. Unicorn Rights, a famous Antifa. Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing. A lot of people are being funded and a lot of people haven't gotten caught. That's the thing here, chat. Really, at the end of the day, that's the interesting thing here. Now, what does all this mean? What does all this mean? They talk about multiple issues with everything here. Is it sus this came out after Tim Pool's announced he wanted to sue Kamala Harris? No. How come they never catch George Soros? Because the government decides they like him. This is an issue. If you are not if you don't hold favor with the government, they'll come after you. Yes, Soros is their friend, so they won't attack him. I mean, you can't be surprised that the government's your friend. That's it. Soros also has U.S. citizenship, but it can be stripped from him. But yes, he influences media all over. Other governments do. I'm sure Ben Shapiro is chuckling away right now because my Israeli dollars are fine. Yes, it's the gold people critical of AIPAC, like Lauren Chen. Like I said, I'm sure that's true. Now, here's the thing, guys. It's just kind of like the whole thing with Aaron Himmelholt. Did he break the law? Yes. Like, here's the deal. Did Aaron break the law? It sounds like he did. But is the reason why he got reported and being prosecuted, is that reason because he did a bad thing and that's the only reason why? No. Here's the thing. Is this being brought up because it's a really bad thing? Not really. Is it being used to further political interest? Yes. I think we can all agree with that. You just can't be fucking retarded while you do it. October, November are going to be wild this year. Yes, there's going to be a month. It's going to be October surprise. It's going to be like bop, 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 bop. It's going to be like a machine gun of surprises. Yeah. So, and oh my God. Why is it that you do this Harry Potter thing? Yes, That's a Shame says, everyone does play this game. There's even a dissident radio show in Harry Potter 7. Oh my God. No. No, there's intelligence ops in Harry Potter. Oh my God. I'm just like, just gonna leave bite marks on a pistol. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And further, there's a lot of discussion on Discord about the Moscow terror attack. And that, yes, while ISIS claimed responsibility, it was a little sussy that these guys were caught heading towards the Ukrainian border. Which, there is, believe it or not, the Ukrainians have launched operations outside of their soil. There's a war being waged by them and Russian intelligence organizations and special forces groups all over the Sahel region of Africa. Out in Sudan, they're fighting. Out in Chad and Niger, there's fighting between these groups. In Chad, I think it is, there was an entire group of Wagner guys who got murked by some Tuareg rebels who received assistance from the Ukrainian special forces teams. And then there's just the hijinks that the Ukrainians are pulling inside Russia. So yes, there's a lot of sussy stuff going on. A lot of sussy stuff. So, yes, they're like, why would they want to go to Ukraine to hide? And Commentator 3 said he's happy to cover it. So once again, they weren't telling them what to do. They were saying like, hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? And then when you see like the one thing with Tim Pool, he's like, Ukraine, like he's screaming like Ukraine is the enemy, he's smacking his table. It's like, okay, look, Ukraine is not the enemy. The people supporting Ukraine and pushing us to go there, well, they are enemies. They're internal enemies, domestic enemies. But Ukraine is not the enemy itself. That's just a fucking patsy and a vehicle to do shit with. So that's the difference. And what the hell did I just get an email for? Oh, don't care about that. All right. And how long have we been going here? Hour 20 minutes on this chat. We're gonna get rolling here. So Yes, they point out that the company received nearly $10 million from the foreign shell entities. So, between August 2023 and June 2024, they received nearly $9.3 million in expenses, and they asked to be paid into the bank account. UK shell company also for $700,000. So yes, a lot of people have paid money. U.S. company when dispersed most of these funds to its commentators, including $8.7 million to the production companies of Commentators 1, 2, and 3 alone. Holy Jesus Christ! 4, 5, and 6 got hosed, chat. 4, 5, and 6 got hosed. Oh my God. That is embarrassing. You know, and they point out it would be hard to recoup the cost based on ad revenue, but that's not how this works. That's not how this works. It's meant to be spending money. There were 30 inbound wire transfers from 7 foreign entities, none of which were the U.S. company's contract counterparty, Shell UK, and the UK. They were from Turkish companies. 3 of them were from the UAE, United Arab Emirates, with different addresses in Dubai. And the rest all come in the United Arab Emirates. And there was one. Oh my God. How? I mean, how do you, how? I mean, it's like, and I'm going to pull this up, guys, because I don't know if you guys know where Mauritius is. Mauritius is a banking haven out in the middle of nowhere. Guys, here's where Mauritius is. Like, here's Madagascar, and the Seychelles are up this way. This is Mauritius right here. It's like kind of like if you're going to the Cayman Islands. It's like you're going to the Cayman Islands. And they're like in the fucking Cayman Islands. Holy Jesus Christ. Yes, Mauritius is beautiful, but I'm just saying, like, wow, these guys were fucking, like, Lawrence Chen, these guys were fucking idiots. Of the 7 entities, only it looks like only 3 of them, the shell entities, had websites. Like, this is just fucking lazy. So the Mauritius company has 2 websites. One is supplying agricultural products, and the other is a digital marketing agency. Well, this will be very interesting to see what happens here. And say, contrary to the invoices which reflect fees for staff, the wires note many of the inbound wire transfers describe the payments to the purchase of electronics. For example, the wire note Turkish shell entity's $318,000 payment to Company 1 was buying goods, including an iPhone 15 Pro for a 500 gigabytes. Like, oh. And they point out, according to the FARA records, neither U.S. Company 1 nor Lauren Chen nor her husband have ever registered as a foreign agent with the Attorney General. Well, boy. So count 1. Notice they point out Lauren Chen and them, but a lot of people are in trouble here. So Kalashnikov, Kostya and Elena are both being accused of conspiring to violate FARA, the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And they knowingly willfully caused Company 1 and Lauren Chen and her husband to act as agents or foreign principals without registering. And it was part of it that they did knowingly and willfully cause Company 1, Founder 1, and Founder 2 to act as agents of foreign principals. And they talk about all the overt acts they did, everything that came up to that point. And then count 2, conspiracy to commit money laundering. And that's where they willfully combined and transpired to commit money laundering in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1956. And this is where they would transfer an attempt to transfer instruments from a place inside the United States and through a place outside the United States and to a place in the United States, from and through a place outside the United States. So see how they get you? You can transport inside the country, leaving the country money laundering, or money laundering into the United States, with the intent to promote carrying on a specified unlawful activity, to wit, felony violations of the FARA Act. And that's where they're talking about laundering by saying, oh, we're paying for cell phones. And they want forfeiture allegations. So, yeah. So what's going to happen here? I don't know, guys. I don't know. But this is absolutely fucking crazy. Release the McCracken. Why would I believe this right now? The same people who push for Hillary and push the Steele dossier. Yeah, there's some reason to take this all with a bit of salt or pinch of salt here. Is this true? I don't know. But holy shit, if this is these people are dumb enough in the way it's written, it's dumb enough to believe this actually happened the way it did. But yes, there's a problem here. And I will point out that Tim Pool has bailed out saying, you know what? I didn't know. I'm not involved with it. Blah, 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 blah. Tim Pool has gone, basically shut off. Dave Rubin's dropped statements. So, yeah, I'm not sure, chat. Now, I would point out, it's the timing of the issues. Because speaking of FARA people, one of our... speaking of somebody in FARA, remember, this guy didn't get no FARA charges when he was clearly doing it. So yes, I don't disagree. This is an election time issue. And it's all about who's in power. It's all about who's in power. Cat says, I want the money Tim made, that I'm going to go buy an island and make my own country. Yes. All right, guys, we got to catch up on some of these super chats real quick. Oh, wow. You guys went crazy in the meantime. Adam Wata gifted 20 memberships. Thank you. He told Steven, fuck you, Steven. EDW Raptor says, how much have the Russians paid me? What's half a zero? EDW Raptor says, gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Raptor. Scorpio says 2024 is an interesting year. And we're getting into Q4, so it's only going to get even more interesting. Stephen Cooper gifted 20 more subs. He looked at Adam. He's like, I'll raise you 20 more. He just called you out, Adam. Thank you, Stephen. Benjamin Lewis says, Mark's safe from taking money from Russia. Yes. Nitram 10 says, Sigma Liquid Bros, I don't feel so good. Now, I will point out, even people like Destiny were trying to dunk on people till people point out, like, hey, didn't you do debates that RT sponsored on their channel? And Destiny kind of puckered up his asshole real quick and quit. So it is funny. They had their fingers in a lot of different things early on. So a lot of people are in trouble. And here's the thing. I guarantee you, if you wanted to go rooting around on the pro-Ukraine side of things, you're going to find a lot of people receiving money from the Ukrainian government or cutouts of the Ukrainian government who they aren't registered with FARA. I've checked a couple of them. I know they're not there. And you're like, those will be funny if the government were ever to look into, but they probably won't because they're on the right side of the government at this point. Curious Contrarian says soft up issues. Yes. And Nitram says, Baldo Man says I can take as much foreign money as I want. Bish. Yes, yes. I would not recommend that, chat. Wrestler Town says, how does one even know if they're in violation of FARA? How does one differentiate from any other international business interaction? Well, that's where you do some due diligence. Hey, this guy wants to hire you to do things. Okay. Well, what am I doing? How am I doing it? How am I getting paid? Now, yes, that's why like Tim Pool and Dave Rubin, they're not being accused of violating it because you have to knowingly and willfully violate the law. For people like Lauren Chen, where they know they're talking to Russians, they know they're working for pushing Russian media points, and that they're receiving money from all these sketchy fucking places, yeah, that becomes an issue for them. But notice, so far, they've only gone after the people who intentionally are hiding what they're doing. So far, it's only been the Russia Today people who are working for the Russian government. So they obviously know they're working for the government. Linda Richards says, can the money they be paid claw back? No, because they earned it lawfully. So no, they wouldn't be able to. Yes, Base Shaman, I saw this. The DOJ chief of public affairs in New York admitted the charges against Trump that Alvin Bragg did. So it's the New York City charges were a travesty of justice in a video by Steven Crowder. Yes, I did see that. Yes, very true. Charlie 18 is a new member. Thank you, Charlie. Super Wiener says someone hit Quan a little hard. Yeah, Rich homie Quan apparently passed away. And Scott says, will his asset get seized? No. I was just bringing up RICO charges. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. High number says KGB, well, CIA, SVR, KGB, MI6, Mossad. Yes, the EU, NATO, they're all the same to me. At some point, they do blend together after a while. Very true. Grassroots Hegemon says, you aren't considering this is the amount of Porsche 911 GT3s I just bought. You have no idea what it costs to tear out that seat. And then Los Federales, for 2 Canadian loonies, says, late to the party, can you give me the summary? I kind of just did there. Grassroots Hegemon says, is it what you would get if you were Pinchoto? No. Grassroots Hegemon says, buy a hat for your Shanka. Very true. Analytical T gifted 40 subs. Thank you very much. And Young says, please clarify. Do you have a drop fade, or a drop fade is an alt-right haircut, or do you have an alt-right cut? The drop fade, I'm Googling. No, I don't have any of them. Grassroots Hegemon says, think about the number of children Tim Pool can buy now. Yes, as many as Dave Rubin. And Cargo Pilot Guy for $9.99 says, the DOJ goes after Tim Pool while China invades our southern border and buys our farmland. Yes. Yep. And they don't go after people violating FARA. Other people. Lots of people violating FARA. Mm-hmm. And Grassroots Hegemon says, Tim Pool is the real gay op working to bankrupt Russia to support Ukraine. Yeah, that's what Tim Pool's going to say. I was actually working for Ukrainian intelligence all along. Like, then at that point, we really should drone strike them. Fedigator says they should have used Nick Ricada's signal group chat. Oh, no. Cargo Pilot Guy says, when will the DOJ go after Ben Shapiro? I don't know, man. It's going to be, as much as I'd like to see them do it, they won't do that. With all the Israeli money flowing in. But not happening, sadly. Not happening. Thank you guys for those chats and all that comment. Glow in Dark says he's here. Some people, sure, maybe. Oh, okay. $10K views says someone chatter foreign nationals trying to influence the rest of chat. Yeah, you guys are funny. 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 Oh. All right. Matt Christensen claimed the only involvement Tenet had with making his content was providing thumbnails. That's possible, but that's the problem. I mean, the issue there. Still taking money. That's the problem. And then Joe Schmo says, I don't understand how when registered FARA agents are expected to make money. This is the big tell. That was the big tell for the feds coming down on through all the shell companies. Yeah, I don't understand how they didn't know there. Yeah. So, yeah, it was just the whole thing's weird. Yes, all my super chats might be gay ops. Yes, they could all be. They could all be gay ops. Chaucer and Fraud says, if you took $1 from a foreign country, would you have to register under FARA? Well, it all depends. Like, if somebody from Canada sends me $1, am I a foreign agent? No. If I take it from a foreign government or to be on behalf of doing work for a foreign government, that's when it becomes a FARA issue. Okay. That's where it becomes a FARA issue. If that makes any sense. So basically, if you're engaging in political activities such as tending to influence the US government or the American public regarding internal or foreign policy, that's one of the big ways to determine. And by a foreign principle, it's a foreign government, a foreign political party. Um, it could be anybody outside the United States or organizations that have its principal place of business in a foreign country. It doesn't really matter who, as long as they're trying to get me to shape policy. Yeah, technically there could be issues there. Be very hard to prove, but it could be done. Yes, every law is selectively enforced. Sure. Plot twist, I'm really just a promoter of Russia with my Ukraine map coverage. Well, I'm just a promoter of American interests. That's all that matters. The fact that Ukraine doesn't matter what they're there. Some dude says, is there a small California mayor who's moving because California's gay? Wow. Well, that's one way to do it. That's one way to do it, I guess. Reverend JJ says there's a Mexican trying to spy on chat. Hola. Hola. All right, guys, moving on. Speaking of people with FARA, like I said, speaking of people with FARA issues, now we got to get chugging, chat. We got to get going here. Hour and 30 minutes in, and we just got to finish with one story. Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous here. Yes, Steel 2 is also Russian funded. Yes, Nick, have you considered reporting Aaron to the Russians? Or Aaron to the DOJ? He might be taking Russian money. I'm sure that'll go along with it as well. All right, guys, so here we go. Speaking of the FARA violations, Hunter Biden, yes, America's son, pled guilty today in his tax evasion case, avoiding going to trial. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So what happened was very interesting. But yes, it allows him to avoid talking about his lucrative business deals with foreign companies. Yes, because if you read those indictments, it sounds like Hunter engaged in FARA violations. He was taking money from Burisma and other foreign companies. And don't worry, I can interact with the U.S. government. Wow, it's like you're influencing U.S. government actions. Isn't that fun, chat? Isn't that fun? Yes, and this trial could have given the public a detailed look at Biden's work for Burisma, a scandal-plagued company and now bankrupt Chinese conglomerate. Remember, the cool thing about Burisma in Ukraine was everybody was sending their children there. Mitt Romney, Nancy Pelosi, they all had children over there working for Ukrainian companies, making money on the boards of directors. Isn't it awesome? Isn't it awesome how that shit works, guys? Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's almost like it was a tactical thing. We're going to keep the Hunter shit out of the spotlight. Now things are going down. We just dropped the DOJ indictment, and guess what happens? Hunter, we need you to take a plea. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like this is planned. It's almost like this is planned. Yes, Hunter's also got his gun charge he got convicted of. So, remember though, guys, I've said this before. His gun charges are unconstitutional. I hope they get overturned. I hope Hunter Biden appealing it strikes a massive blow for the Second Amendment. And if he's the vehicle for it, oh well, so be it. So, yes, attention pivots. Yes, It's a very interesting pivot, isn't it, Chad? I think it's a very, very interesting pivot in how they do this. It's a very, very interesting pivot. I like I said, it's almost like it worked out that way in how they're handling themselves. They say, but the political stakes have diminished after the president left the race. He did, but not all the way, because there still would have been a lot of issues. But after ending this guilty plea, he is scheduled for sentencing on the tax charges in December. In November, he's going to be sentenced for the gun case. Biden faces up to 17 years of prison for the tax charges, although he's going to get a lighter sentence. One of the things included in the federal sentencing guidelines, among everything else, which some of you may agree with or don't agree with, he did admit guilt. He did enter a plea, so he accepted responsibility. He is a first-time offender. He doesn't have a prior record. There's going to be a lot of things involved in that. These aren't crimes of violence. So no matter what, it's just like everybody, people are like, oh my God, Nick's going away forever. Nope. Hunter Biden not going away forever either. He'll get a little bit of, he's probably going to get some time because of just, sometimes you are sentenced to make a statement. He'll get a little bit of prison time, but he's not going away forever. He's not going away forever. Now this, where is this article? No, this article doesn't talk about it. Hold on here, because it was funny. Hunter Biden tried to enter what was known as an Alford plea. And the prosecutors were like, nope, we're not allowing that. Remember, guys, the Alford plea is, let me see here. Where is, hold on here. I thought I had that one up real quick. Okay, so here's what happened today. And this AP article covers it. I thought it was very interesting. So his attorneys walked in and was preceded by the prosecutor saying, okay, well, you can enter a plea. And then they say, well, we want to do an Alford plea. And remember, guys, an Alford plea is a plea pursuant to Alford, North Carolina v. Alford, where you say, I'm entering a plea because in the best interest to save my ass, but I am innocent the whole time. I'm only doing this to protect myself. Well, the prosecution has to agree to that, and they won't. But this is right as trial is beginning, and you can see right there, they get through this, and they say 100 jurors have been summoned for questioning in voir dire. And yes, and before they did the guilty plea, his attorney said, we want to do an Alford plea. They're like, we'll take care of this. And the prosecutor said, hell no, we're not doing an Alford plea. And they come back, but yes, it's Henry Alford of North Carolina. He pleaded to second-degree murder to avoid the death penalty, but said he was still innocent. So they wanted to point out the U.S. government will not allow an Alford plea. Hunter Biden is not innocent. Hunter Biden is guilty. He's not entitled to plead guilty on terms that only apply to him. Now, the judge said something interesting, which I don't think is true. He didn't need the government's approval. I think they do. I think they do need his approval. But anyways, he dropped the effort and he pled guilty. So, yes, this article, I think, does a better job explaining what's going on here in the Politico. And yes. Yes. Is Hunter an attempt for these agencies to get back the trust of we the people? Yes, of course. That's all this is for Hunter Biden, is just to gain the trust of people to come back and say, look, see, we're not totally corrupt. And that's what it's meant for here. It's like, see, we hold people accountable. We hold the elite accountable. Yeah, that's totally how we do it. So, did the DA accept the guilty plea with any conditions? Nope. And the judge said he didn't have to, but Hunter had to enter a guilty plea. So, that was what happened to Hunter. He was left stuck with entering guilty to the tax evasions, and we'll find out what happens to him coming up. So I'm sure he's going to have a rough day as this goes on. Yes, it is very much a two-tiered system. Yes. Narrator says they are, in fact, totally corrupt. Yes. And Joe Schmo says, going back to the Dave Rubin thing, it always cracks me up that Jeremy at the quartering calls Dave Rubin the baby trafficker. I have not heard him say that, but that is fucking hilarious. Brittany says the gun charge, what happened to that? He went to trial and he got convicted. He got convicted of all 3 counts, but he's going to appeal it, and I do think that it should get overturned. It should be overturned. Those are unconstitutional gun charges. So hopefully Hunter Biden will strike a blow on behalf of the Second Amendment. Now, Joe Biden has claimed he's not going to pardon Hunter, but he could always do it later at some point, or Kamala could pardon Hunter. Who knows? We'll find out later. Reverend Gumby says, are you coming to the Delphi murders this October? In October, local here. DP on the way, I assume. Death penalty on the way? Yes, I do plan on covering Richard Allen, and we're actually going to talk about Richard Allen very briefly tonight about what Judge Gull did to him and fucked him over on. Yeah. But yes, Reverend, we will be doing that. I like Gumby. He's Gumby strapped up. There we go. All right, so moving on from there, a bit of changing gears here. Hannah Reid. If you guys remember, Hannah Reid was the armor in the Rush shooting. She was the one who stood trial before Alec Baldwin was convicted of manslaughter. And as you remember, Kerry Morrissey completely botched the prosecution of Alec Baldwin, and he got to walk free with a dismissal with prejudice. Well, Hannah Reid did not. Hannah Reid is spending quite a while in prison. And Hannah Reid had a second set of charges. If you guys don't remember, she had a second set of charges. Those charges were involving her going to a bar with a firearm, which you're not allowed to do. Andrew's going to Delphi in October. Would you be based to go with her? We might work. I mean, it's a multi-day thing out there. Maybe I'll work something out where I drive out there. It's not too far away. Maybe I'll go out there and say hello. I don't know. Report live from the scene. We'll see what happens. A name of some sort. Yes, Hannah the Sturdy Girl Reid. Brittany says, was it a real gun with real ammo? Yes, she brought a real gun with real ammo to the bar. So. Real quick, Brandon, we'll answer this one in a minute. Go cuck Bob. Why would I do that to Bob? Bob's a nice guy. I like Bob. Bob and I will go out there. I'll catch Bob when he's out there. We'll have a couple of road pops or something. Isn't the trial in Fort Wayne, though? No, it is going to be held in Delphi. So, Stacy says, why no gun in a bar? Because New Mexico says so. That's why. That's why you can't do it, because the law says no. And guys with guns will make sure you can't, and they'll kill you over it. Yeah, she was taking selfies of her and the gun in the bathroom shitter. Oh. So, here we go. Here we go, chat. So, an unopposed motion requests a plea hearing. And then defendant Hannah Reid, by and through her counsel, Jason Bowles, who I think fucked her over a lot. Hannah Reid would have been better off the public defender. Hereby moves his court to schedule a plea hearing, and support of her motion states as follows. She was charged with unlawful carrying a firearm in a licensed liquor establishment by grand jury indictment. She has accepted a plea agreement, and the plea agreement is not signed, but we can look at it. And she wants a hearing date. And they said counsel is unavailable for the following dates. And this is an interesting way they do it, where he gives them his availability. They say Kerry Morrissey does not oppose this request. Well, she can't. Even if Kerry Morrissey wanted to oppose it, there's nothing she could do. She can't go, no, I don't want you to plea. No. Doesn't work that way. There's already a plea deal offered. So I don't understand why he had to include that, because I think it's presumed, but oh well. So this is the plea and disposition agreement. She's going to agree to the following. The firearm in an unlicensed liquor establishment. Okay, charge 1 in the indictment. It's a 4th-degree felony occurring on or about October 1st, 2021, so before the shooting. And the sentencing agreement. The judge is not bound by this, but this will be an important thing for the judge to consider. The defendant shall receive a sentence of 18 months of supervised probation that may be transferred to Arizona, subject to the requirements of the Interstate Compact. Now, here's how this works. If you were on felony probation, you can go from state to state as long as your state is part of the Interstate Compact, and I think all states are. And they have procedures and ways of transferring probation. Along with part of that is if you violate, it simplifies extradition and other issues. But she's getting 18 months of supervised probation. She's not going to go to prison. They're not going to make her time run together. Maddie B says for a felony for carrying in a bar. Well, the way she did it, yes. Although, hold on here. Let's pull up, see if we can bring it up. Oh, where did she... I'm trying to see if I can find... Let me see if I can find... Where's the thing where it talks about the New Mexico sections 30-7-3? There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, here we go. So here's what she did. She committed unlawful carrying of a firearm in a licensed liquor establishment. So what did she do, actually? She had in her butt cheeks. No, she did not, Joe. So how can you carry a firearm in a licensed liquor establishment? Carrying a loaded or unloaded firearm in any premises licensed. Okay, well, you can do it if you're a law enforcement officer doing your job. You're by a law enforcement officer acting in accordance with policies of your agency. You're the owner, lessee, tenant, or operator of licensed premises, and you're including privately employed security. Somebody who has a concealed handgun license and is in possession of a valid concealed handgun license. You know, you are on a licensed premises that does not sell alcohol beverages for consumption on the premises. Or it's a restaurant license to sell only beer and wine that serves no less than 60% of its annual receipts. Ohio used to have shit like this where you had to figure out, like, does Applebee's sell more alcohol than food? But yeah, that's the issue here. By a person in the area of a licensed premises that's usually in Reddit on a daily basis, including, outside of hotel rooms. I mean, listen to all this stuff. For the purpose of temporary display, provide there's things you can do. But yes, you're not allowed to carry a firearm if you are drinking or in a bar, period. That's how it goes. Yeah, you still have that in Michigan. I know, but the neat thing, I could do that here in Ohio. It's different. That's you got to have a base state chat. So anyways, she's receiving a deferred sentence pursuant to the New Mexico statutes. And upon successful completion of 18 months of supervised probation, if the defendant becomes incarcerated in the Department of Corrections due to a violation of her terms of probation, she'll be subject to a 1-year term of parole. So she's going to point out that while on probation, she shall obey. And this is a standard probation agreement here, guys. Obey all laws and shall fully comply with the rules, regulations, as determined by adult probation and parole. And they say, in addition to the standard conditions of probation, the following conditions and recommendations shall apply. Not possess firearms or ammunition. Not reside in a residence where firearms are present. Not consume alcohol or illegal drugs. Subject to random urinalysis. She shall enter and successfully complete any treatment or counseling program as recommended by the probation officer or treatment providers. Submit DNA entry into CODIS. She already did that. And pay $100 DNA fee, which I think that is bullshit that they make people pay fees like that. If you wanted me to do it, that's your problem. She shall pay the $75 crime victims reparations commission fee as well as the $5 domestic violence fund fee, which I think is bullshit too. The maximum penalty for these is up to 18 months imprisonment, followed by a year of parole, and up to a $5,000 fine. And you don't have to worry about the aggravating circumstances here. They talked about the $100 fee, and they said potential incarceration. If the court accepts this agreement, the defendant will be ordered to serve a period of probation. Within 24 hours, she must check in upon her release from the New Mexico Department of Corrections. And they point out she's already in prison, so she can't get out and go to see her probation officer. And they say if it's violated, the state may seek to incarcerate her for the balance. And they say that they talk about if she violates this, the state may recommend a sentence and the court may impose a sentence of imprisonment without considering limitations. And they say charges to be dismissed, none. The state will not bring additional habitual offender proceedings against the defendant as outlined below in the habitual offender proceedings. There's not really any restitution. Don't have to worry about that. Waiver of in-person confrontation at future hearings. And here's the thing. If she transfers to any location outside of Santa Fe County, New Mexico, or if she's arrested in any location outside Santa Fe County as a fugitive, the defendant agrees and stipulates that the state's witnesses may appear in any probation hearing through any telephonic, webcam, or voice-over internet protocol service in any future probation violation hearing, including future adjudicatory hearings. The defendant gives up any rights, objections, or requests for an in-person confrontation of any witnesses. The parties agree that the discretion to appear through said alternative means will rest solely with the prosecutor. And then stipulations, she waives the defendant's right to rules under time limits of trial until the agreement is accepted or waived. She gives up all motions, offenses, objections, or requests that she could have made concerning the entry, and she waives any rights to appeal as long as the court sentence is imposed according to the agreement. So if Judge Summer does something different, well, then there's a change in what she'll get. What judge is she in front of here? I don't think it says. So if the judge changes the terms of the agreement, she can appeal. If not, she's stuck. So they point out that if the plea is rejected or withdrawn, the chargings are automatically reinstated. This doesn't change anything until it's over. Rejection of the plea. The court may allow the withdrawal of this plea, and the disagreement will be void. If the plea is withdrawn, neither the plea nor any statements arising out of the plea shall be admissible against the defendant in the criminal proceedings. So whatever she says at a plea hearing, if she withdraws her plea later before sentencing, they can withdraw. They can't use it against her. And then she says, I have read and understand the agreement. I enter this on my own free will. No force, threats, or unlawful influence of any kind have been made me to enter the agreement. I've discussed the case with my attorney and my constitutional rights. I'm satisfied with the advice and assistance of my attorney. Prior to this agreement, my attorney and I fully disclosed all aspects of this case. My attorney has, to my complete satisfaction, answered all my questions and fully explained the charges against me and potential defenses. I certify I can read and understand the English language. I do not read and understand the English language. An interpreter could be provided for me. I understand that if I'm not a U.S. citizen, being convicted may affect my immigration status, up to and including deportation, which is funny. But you guys are like, wow, he's going through this really fast. This is pretty much how all plea agreements are written out. Just the format's different. So we're just going through it really fast here. Yes, I know J-Rock wants to be a mod. That's not how I make mods. It never ends that way. Oh, it's in front of Judge Ellington. Okay, not Judge Summer. So you get through this. She says, I understand the above. I understand the rights. And she goes through all of this, pointing out what she's going to do. And then at the end, Jason Bowles says, I've read this and gone over with my client. She understands it, and I've advised her of all her rights and possible defenses. He signs. Carrie Morrissey signs. And then the judge goes through this. The defendant understands everything here, including all her rights that she will waive if she doesn't go to trial. And Judge T. Glenn Ellington will sign off. And that's it. So this will be kind of the wrap-up of Hannah Reid. I know Carrie Morrissey filed a motion. I'm probably going to go over that tomorrow. It's a 50-page cope. So it will be very interesting to talk about, and we'll go over that tomorrow. But yes, the Alec Baldwin and Russ saga is wrapping up. Brittany says $200 super chat to make J-Rock a mod. Oof, no. No, it's going to be a little higher than that. It's going to cost a little bit more than for J-Rock to become a mod. So I'm just saying. And then catching up on some things here real quick, chat. Grassroots Hegemon says Master gave Dobby 26 ounces of cocaine. Dobby is a free elf. Is that a Harry Potter thing? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. Cargo Pilot Guy says, me, a Colorado voter, I just want a secure border. I agree. Analytical T says, I'm gifting 20 memberships. Thank you. You guys are just like making it happen here. Like I need Meme Copium's whistles for all aboard the sub train. And Johan saying, Sean, I'd like to ask your haircut if it's seen my friend Kyle. He's about this tall. You mean this tall? Has my haircut seen Kyle? No. Sorry. Base Shaman says, FARA be damned. I've been lied by my own government. Why should I care anymore? I don't disagree with you. That's kind of how I feel. But once again, the laws are the laws, and it's kind of my job to help explain what they are and how you navigate them. Because they are what they are. Skeeve Man for £5 sterling says, I hereby accept your application as agent of the king. The true and only king. We shall now pay you in pies and gravy. I'm concerned because you guys have different versions of pies. So I don't want like a bean pie. That kidney and bean pie, that's not good. I'll take shepherd's pies though. Then let's go, Brandon, for $49.99. Let's go, chat. Says, hypothetically here, we'll address this real quick. Let's say you live in a nice condo. Can your scumbag landlord say you can't smoke, even with a physician's prescription? No marijuana. What other prescription would you have to smoke, though? Like, are you saying, like, peyote? I mean, like, you're not going to find a prescription saying, like, Doc says I got to choke down a box of Marlboros today. I got to have some cowboy killers. Just saying. I'm just reading this, and I have questions. Or are you breaking the community contract? How much for you to draft a more asinine response than what I got? Well, if it's in the state of Ohio, we can talk. Email me. Email. Oh my God, I love this woman. I love this woman. Doctor prescribed DMT. But yes, Kim. But yes, Brandon, I could talk to you about that if you want offline. That would be funny. No smoking. Well, no, I get that, but you're saying you can't smoke even with a prescription. Well, if there's no smoking, then what? I don't get what the issue. I'm confused then. Because what else are you smoking? Like you can't smoke even with a physician's prescription. Well, what else would you smoke with a physician's prescription? Like, are you getting crack rocks? Like, this is medicinal crack, man. I don't think it works that way. Are you breaking the community contract? So, like I said, Brandon, if you want to talk to me later, send me an email, potentiallycriminal@gmail.com. We could talk more, dude. But I'd be happy to help you figure something out. Smoking briskets. Smoking salmon, yes. Brandon is interested in the personally used ketamine unit Kanye is funding. Oh. Medicinal crack, we figured out Nick's defense strategy. Yes. Well, there is medicinal cocaine. There is medicinal cocaine. There is medical grade cocaine. It is a topical analgesic they use for numbing the surface. But it is an actual thing. There is medical cocaine. It is a real thing, chat. Brandon, are you saying you hold on here. Okay. I know, Brandon, but I want to talk to you a little more. Okay. I need to talk to you a little more. Like I said, if you're not smoking, then what's the issue? Because I think you said no smoking, and I thought that meant I'm not smoking. Well, if you're not smoking, then yeah, talk to me more. I'll be happy to talk to you. And if I can't help you, I'll try to find somebody who can. Dilaudid is where it's at. Smoking Dilaudid. That would be scary. That would be scary. The J-Rock gifted a membership. Thank you, J-Rock. All right, guys, we got to get more stories done. We got a lot to cover here. It is time to roll. Now, this thing here, chat, this is very interesting because somebody might have committed a wee bit of perjury here. Just a wee little bit. And that person, well, you may know him, you may love him, as Fani Willis. So we're going to play this here. Fani Willis, her daughter got on a traffic stop on the 24th of August. So, about a week and a half ago. And, well, Fani had a bit of an issue here. So here we go. Oh, we got to skip ahead here till they show up. Hold on. Here we go.
Mama looking like us. The windshield's a little dark. Whoa.
Now, that's the part that pisses me off a little bit. You heard them. They're like, oh, no, the windshield's a little dark. It might be like us. And they're like, oh, I guess we're going to have to cut one of our fellow police officers a break. Oh, Demon's Rat says, of course, it's a Nissan Altima. Oh, no, chat. I know we're playing bingo from body. We're playing body cam bingo. Yes, it's a Nissan Altima. Yes, of course it is. Anyways, we're going to keep going here because this gets better. This gets better. Oh, sorry. Wrong screen. So there's a woman and a man. This man, I don't know who he is. We're gonna have to wait till he gets closer, chat.
Doing well. How are y'all?
Excellent.
Mom, Dad, what's your
Just a friend, yeah.
Okay.
Connie, nice to meet you.
So,
Nice to meet you. What?
So, apparently,
Nice to meet you.
apparently her license is suspended.
Ha! Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, didn't we have a court case where they were going through? It's like, we don't have a relationship anymore. We don't hang out, Judge. I said that on the stand. I think somebody remembers saying, I'm pretty sure I remember somebody saying that on the stand. They don't hang out no more. Yeah. Brittany says, who's the stud? If you're not joking, that's Nathan Wade, her boyfriend that she paid nearly $1 million to in the whole beginning of the bullshit Trump prosecution. He is the reason why there was those big hearings to get her kicked off the case. The Altima is the Wakandan Mercedes. Oh yeah. Yes, perjury. I mean, some might call it perjury. Some might call it perjury. I would. But you don't have to. You could call it just fibbing. How are they this dumb? I don't think it's this dumb. They just don't give a fuck because they don't think it applies to them. They don't think it applies to them. So yeah, nothing's going to happen to her. Nothing's going to happen to her. But yeah. No, that's not George Floyd. Stop. You guys, come on. So, yes, she misremembered is what she would say. Or the famous one, I don't recall, Senator. Was she actually under oath or just under that candor to the court oath? Well, I mean, I think she was under oath. When he walked up, he did look like him. Oh, my God. It's not George Floyd. Stop it. It's not George Floyd. He did not rise again like Jesus. All you lying on me. Yeah, I know. Everybody lying on her. But yes, her daughter got caught with a suspended license. So she got arrested.
News to me, okay.
For something. Doesn't tell us what for or why or where. Or that's something she's going to have to call DMV and find out. Right. Probably what happened, she had a speeding ticket, some kind of traffic infraction, never went to court, didn't take care of it. Right. That's the best guess. So she's gone over to Fayette County Jail, which is right in the Fayetteville Square. It's 145 Johnson Avenue. Yeah. Normally, I would say a couple hours is the process. It just depends on how busy they are and like that, okay? The driving on the suspended is basically a traffic citation. She's got to have her fingerprints done and picture taken, then she can make her bonds. You can pay it cash, use a bondsman, be 10%, whatever. They've got a list of people over there, too.
Well, she paid Nathan Wade $1 million. I'm sure he can float the bond.
That you can choose from and use whatever. Where was she stuck? So the vehicle's registered to her. Okay. I don't know if it was on a flock hit or if the officer observed some kind of traffic infraction. It wasn't me. I didn't make a traffic stop. He's already gone and got her going. Okay. So whatever the case may be, when you run the tag, it obviously gives us the vehicle information and the registered owner, and it's already in the system that has the invalid license. Yeah. Okay. So upon that, we just verify that it is that person driving, or stop the car first. At that point, we don't have to know it's them. It's general assumption that the registered owner is the driver of the vehicle. Yeah. You know, if you stop it and it's not, okay, have a nice day. But in this case, she was.
So anyways, yeah, they're talking to Nathan Wade. It was confirmed it was him. So that's the funny thing here. Oh, just, geez. Good job, Fani. Good job, Fani. Good job, Wade. You guys are like big brain in this shit. Should at least worn a fucking COVID mask. Like you could at least lied a little bit here. Tried to hide yourself. So, all right. So going from Puffer Smiles says, nice to catch you. Hope today was good for you. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Hope yours was good as well. James Reed said, when did this happen? 8/24/2024. So right meow. Right meow. Right up meow. Right meow. Right meow. Just like choo. Right there. The accurate timing. And his shirt says together 404. That's an area code. It's not saying together lol LOL. So, man, he does have a big nose though. Holy cow, that's a huge nose. But yes, I hope you had a really nice night. I hope you had a great day too. Today was fun. 404 error. Yes, that is a 404 error. Yes. Keep prosecuting people, keeping them out of jail. 404 error. All right, so moving on from there to more stupidity. This happened over the weekend is people on TikTok were doing something where they called it like a hack and a glitch where you could write a check. Yes, Hotlanta is the 404. Yes, Hotlanta. You could write a check and send it in, and it was a glitch because you could use some of the money on the check. Now, real quick, just so you guys are aware, that's not a hack. That's it's called check hiding. It's illegal. It's called bank fraud. Don't fucking do it. This was 100% fucking real. They thought they were playing GTA Online. Yeah. It's also theft. If you're taking money you don't have, it's theft. And I commented on this before. That whole thing from Monopoly, bank error in your favor, collect $200. That doesn't work. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing. That never happens. If the bank gave you money they weren't supposed to give to you, they will take it back from you. They never just go, oh, sorry. Very few times that ever happens. Very few times that ever happens. But there were some funny videos about it, though. There were some funny videos. There were some funny videos about it. This one's a really good one here, Chad. We're going to do some of these videos here. Because I thought there were some funny things about it. All right, here we go. This is the best part. I love these guys singing Vanessa Carlton.
And I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder if you know I walk 1,000 miles just say you tonight.
Yeah. So, yes, people coming out with
Chevs, kick the Chevs. We having a Chevy party later. Bring all the Chevy honors out. I don't even like posting my accomplishments in life. For all the niggas that ain't want to give me their Chev, eat a dick. You up 100,000. Everybody gonna eat tonight. Blue hundreds, blue card.
this must be staged. I don't know, man, because a lot of people did it. A lot of people did it. Like, this is also a really good so what happened in response was Chase then froze your bank accounts out. So this is why, like, when your bank account gets frozen, you have like $1 million, like a $100 trillion negative balance. And accounts were getting, people would like try to kind of check for like $80,000. And if they can only draw part of it, they would draw part of it, but they did it all day long. And then you get guys like this.
Oh, what the fuck?
So like this guy basically tried to steal $10,000 from the bank and he's going to get fucked. And I think a lot of like those guys hanging out of the car probably just had legitimate money and they were faking it. But I bet a lot of people fucking were retarded about it and got in trouble for doing this dumb shit. Yes, truly amazing times we live in. Yes. Yes, so here you go. This is these videos are hilarious.
Fuck, man, I know I shouldn't listen to this shit, man. What the fuck, bro? Bro told me tap in, bro. Bro said he got the job a day before this shit got happen, bro. With like, yo, 50 tap in. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm like, I bet this is my only shit, bro. My only motherfucking account, bro. And they gonna whack this shit. Bro, the fuck? All right. So, the fuck, man. What y'all need to do, man? Y'all follow me. Y'all make this shit go viral, man. This chase glitch shit. Don't do this shit, man. Y'all don't do this shit. Y'all save y'all account.
Yeah, it's not a glitch. It's check kiting. People have been doing it for a long time. You normally get arrested for it.
Get y'all money. Otherwise, man, this shit is bow. Don't do it. Hear ye, hear ye. I'm out. Bro.
$31,000 he tried to fuck him out of.
Fuck, man. They really told me to tap in. Next day I was supposed to clear and look at my account, yo. Bro, what the?
Yeah. Whoops-a-doodle. Whoops-a-doodle. Their tears sustain me, yes. Cutfully Numb says 31K, yes. Bushmaster says, will the banks go after him? Probably not everybody, but I bet certain people who broke the high score are probably in trouble. But at the very least, that bank's just going to say you owe $30,000 and they'll hound them for it. They'll probably pursue it civilly. I doubt they'll go after him criminally. Yes, we was kangs. Yes. Yeah, you need a dead relative to pull off that glitch. Yes. They told me to tap in. Yeah, they were treating it like it was a glitch in the Matrix. And it's funny because they're like, it's like a glitch in the Matrix. I'm like, no, it's not. I remember learning about check kiting as a kid. It's illegal as shit. You can't do it. I remember I was like 12 years old and I asked my dad about like when you write checks. I'm like, well, if I have no money, can I just write checks and they give me the money back? And he's like, you go to prison if they do that. He's like, don't ever do it. I'm like, okay, understood. We'll never do it. Wire fraud is federal, yes. But at the local level, they committed bank fraud and various frauds. Yes, are the feds going to indict these people? I probably doubt it. Yeah, if they pursue it in civil court, they'll never get that money back. Yeah, but I mean, let's be real. They're never getting the money back, period, anyway. Old Arm Red said, what was going on at Chase Fraud Protection? I think because it happened on the weekend, they weren't ready for it. Because it happened on like a Saturday. So, yes, Kazahira Miller, yes. Joanna, I was going to build a church with that money. Nick Ricada said I could. Yes, banks, how do they work? Checking, how does it work? Oh. Yes, the federal government has an infinite money glitch. Yes, they do. That's because they can kill you, and you can't stop them. Oh. It's like the cover. They have no impulse control. Jeez. Oh, no. Plead the Fifth says, is it ghetto to get a Nissan Kicks? No comment. And then Horace Legacy is saying, I'm recognizing a pattern here. Captain Kirk, I recognize a pattern here. Yes, Spock, we all do. Oh, no. Don't do that, guys. So Will Cole says, I don't get what they did, debit cards or checks. So what they were doing was they were writing checks and they were sending them in the ATM, the way I understood it, and then they were pulling the money out right away. So Brooks says, if everyone does it as a crime. No, but if everybody does it, you got it. Like, that's the only way this stuff works is if everyone does it. And who, not like somebody chickens out is when ruins. Bushmaster says, it's a tip. It's tax-free. Not too tax-free. Yes. ATM give fronts on money. Yeah, but I guess they were, I don't know what they were doing, how the hell they got away with it, but they did. These guys withdrew shitloads of fucking money. I don't know how they did it. That's crazy because my bank held a check for $75,000 for 5 days. Whoa. Yeah. And Rabbit Stick, have we read the manifesto? We're going to get to that. Hang tight. Hang tight. All right. So moving on from there, guys, and we want to get to this because I wanted to get this caught up. Richard Allen. You guys remember Richard Allen is being charged in Delphi, Indiana for the murder of the 2 girls in 2017. And he filed a motion seeking to bring in information about third parties, third-party defendants, and possible defenses. Well, the court released its ruling this week, and they talked about the state's motion in limine following a hearing conducted on August 1st. So here we go. As it relates, as of right now, Richard Allen has the burden of showing why to introduce any evidence or comments about Odinism, cults, or ritualistic killings. Brad Holder, these guys, Westfall, Messer, Elvis Fields, Ned Smith, Rod Abrams, Keegan Kline, Jerry Klein, and Ron Logan as being involved as potential third parties who committed the murders of the 2 girls. So they determine the defense has failed to produce admissible evidence to demonstrate that nexus between all these people. The court will not permit the defendant to submit evidence in support of their arguments regarding third-party perpetrators in the trial of this case, as the probative value is greatly outweighed by the confusion of the issues and its potential to mislead the jury. So as of right now, the court is saying for Delphi, sorry, you don't get to present evidence on a defense. This is bad. This is bad, chat. I'm a Goofy Goober says, is this the part where Sean mocks other religions he doesn't understand? Well, it's not that I don't understand them. I'm sure there's people who are true Odinists and true pagans who worship the Norse gods, but a bunch of fucking rubes out in shit kick Indiana aren't that. I'm just saying. A couple of toolboxes in rural Indiana probably aren't doing it the right way. So yes, I'm going to mock these guys for hiding Odin spear in each other's ass. And there's more that defense is going to be prohibited from introducing. They are also not allowed to discuss anything that the state did regarding 2 of its detectives who quit and have retired, or the geofencing they did regarding cell phones at the time of the murder. So yes, basically Richard Allen is denied the ability to have an effective defense here. Good stuff, huh, chat? Good stuff. Yes, as it might mislead the jury into thinking someone other than him did it. Yes. And Chinny said, this guy's dying in prison. No. He's out. He's in the county jail. He got rescued. He got released to the local county jail. So Richard Allen is safe right now. He's in a safe environment where he's being taken care of. Salty Spittoon says, I thought the whole point of the defense was to poke holes in the state's case. Yes. Mavka saying, why aren't third-party claims always granted? If it's a lie, just sue the defendant. Yeah, that's not how that works. Alyssa Marie says, I think Judge Gull is playing herself and she's going to get blown the fuck out on an appeal for multiple issues. Sure, she will. But Richard Allen's going to be sitting in prison probably for the next 3 to 4 years before an appeal's done. And Judge Gull, she might retire by then. No, this woman needs to get fucking corrected immediately. She's going to ruin the trial. This man will not get a fair trial. That's the problem right now. She's a complete piece of shit as a judge. Like, I question her competency. Like, the woman's lost her fucking mind. So, I take it good. Says, how fast could this fly up a court of appeals? I don't know. I don't know yet. Yeah, whoa is the best way I can describe it. And all of his confessions are coming in, including confessions when he's documented to be eating his own shit because he has lost mental capacity. He's eating his own turds, and they're letting those confessions in. Judge Gull is a disgusting fucking human being and an even worse jurist. And that's the sad part here. Chinny says, can they file a motion about the judge's competency? Well, they tried to, but the judge is going to deny it and there's nowhere for them to go. It's too late. There's nobody coming to the rescue. His attorneys are just going to have to do their thing. But I don't know how far it's going to work for them. I don't know how it's going to work at this point. And they also point out the trial is still set for jury selection begins October 14th, with the trial commencing and ending by November 15th. There will be 1 week of jury selection and a 3-week trial. Signed by Frances Cole. Roar! I'm sure her gullet jiggled as she typed that. Good job, Judge Gull. So, are there grounds for an interlocutory appeal? They can try, but it's not going to happen in the meantime. Yeah, she would have to certify it, and it's not going to happen. This is absolute fucking horseshit. And I feel bad for the Indiana attorneys out there. This woman is fucking disgusting. This woman is this judge is fucking disgusting. This woman should not be on the fucking bench anymore. Like, I feel bad for, like, I can only imagine the fucking moronic and retarded decisions this woman has ever put out there. I mean, imagine this. This is how she treats people when no one's fucking looking. Absolute bullshit. I mean, he's going to get fucking convicted. He's not allowed to fight this. What's he supposed to say to every witness? Are you sure I did it? That's basically what she's saying. That's shame since I lost sleep over this, and I can understand that. I can understand that. Oh, so anyways, there you go, guys. That's there. Other news, moving on to somebody who, speaking of someone else who doesn't have a chance, Sarah Boone. There are new filings in her case because if you guys were not aware, she has a new attorney. And we talked about that, and her attorney's filed a couple of motions, including this one, which is a little weird. This came out yesterday, or a couple days ago, actually. There's another attorney being involved, Kevin Beck. He is an attorney out of, a little weird here. This is kind of like, huh? Kevin T. Beck, he's going to represent Sarah Boone as co-counsel. And he does have a Florida bar number. Cool. He has a P.O. box in Sandia Park, New Mexico. New Mexico. So she's got lawyer number 9 and number 10. But, yeah. This is going to be very interesting. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Did I miss something? No, I did not see this, so we'll have to look at it. We'll look at this at a local show. Look at that on locals. So she's got new counsel. She's got co-counsel, attorney number 10. And then there was a hearing that was held. They talk about the hearing that was held here, and this hearing was held, and they talk about what was filed on September 3rd, and they point out that the defense abandons all the motions filed by the pro se by the defendant. So everything Sarah Boone filed, they're abandoning, saying, Judge, I don't want them. We're going to ignore those. So they're abandoning all the motions previously filed. The defendant's pro se motions for costs is denied as moot because they got abandoned. The defense counsel to adopt motions as stated on the record. The state has a response to file by 9/10. The state there was a motion to continue by the defense. It was denied. The state objected. The cases remain as set, which is bullshit. She needs time. And she finally has attorneys getting stuff done. And I'm going to show you guys, these attorneys are hauling ass right now. So one of the things her attorney wants to do is hire a crime scene investigator and reconstructionist. So they want to hire an attorney. They want to hire an investigator here. And they want a special guy. And they're trying to lay things out. And the problem is, remember, with experts, you need time for them to do their work, time to prepare it, and give the state time to respond to it. And I think the state's going to say, whoa, we haven't had a chance to respond. We need more time. And the judge says, I'm not going to grant you time in the case. Sorry. You're fucked. So the reconstructionist who's going to get in the suitcase, I don't know. That's the funny part. Who knows? But anyways, he's Dr. Michael Birkeland, and he's $200 an hour to perform his duties, with a cap of $6,000, including traveling time and all of that. So they want a crime scene reconstructionist, a death investigator, as opposed to a non-death investigator. So it's signed by James Owens, his attorney. There's another motion that was filed. There's a motion for a forensic psychologist. Like, this guy is working hard. It's 6 o'clock and he's belting out motions, getting work done. He's ready to help his client. This guy seems super serious too, not just a nutbag. So they want a forensic psychologist to aid in defense, and they want Julie Harper, a forensic psychologist. It's $200 an hour, former duties. $200 an hour. The cap is $7,500. Who knows if they're going to allow it, but they are hauling ass to get this done. They then filed a motion for additional discovery. What's the expert going to say? She didn't lock him in the suitcase? Yeah. Is Sarah paying them in sex? No. Who knows? They say that he's being compensated, and he says like, "Oh, it's taken care of," so, or it's worked out. So who really knows? Who really knows? I don't know. Right now, I assume the guy's working for free. He says he's going to charge her, but who knows? Because he's probably not going to get paid. So, anyways, he's asking for additional discovery, and he alleges on a showing materiality the court may require it. He is asking the state's attorney for the sheriff's office relating to in-house interrogation procedures, the written policy. In particular, they want a specific thing, and they're asking for it, and that were in place at the time Sarah Boone was interrogated. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Then they also ask for a bill of particulars. So you can see this guy's writing them and knocking them out. Like one after another, after another, after another. James Owens is taking this seriously. Filed at 8 a.m. in the morning. He says, okay, so what do I want? He wants a statement of particulars. And this is a particularized statement telling them specifically their theory of the case and how she did it. Because ultimately, he says to prove the crime, the state must prove the victim's dead. It was caused by a criminal act of the defendant, and there was an unlawful killing by an imminently dangerous act to another, demonstrating a depraved mind without regard for human life. And he breaks down all these different things here. And he says that under the Florida rules, the defendant has a right to know the charges against them with specificity. Upon request, the state must provide specificity and clarification of the alleged offense in order to minimize surprise at trial and ensure the rights are protected. And these rules require the information on which the defendant is to be tried shall be a plain, concise, and definitive written statement of the essential facts. Now, some of you might think, well, if I'm doing a bill of particulars, if a prosecutor was a smart ass, how would that work? Because the prosecutor could say, read the indictment, or they would just repeat the words in the indictment. You can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. You have to provide a definitive statement of, here's what our theory is. Now, they don't have to explain every little bit of it, but they have to provide the general idea of what happened and how they expected it to happen. Yes, the state has to prove it's her suitcase. Yeah. So anyways, they're asking for a bill of particulars there. That's happening. That's very interesting. I thought that was worth covering there, guys. It is pretty cool. All right, so we got that. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, we got to kill the tabs as we roll here. Keeps it easier to keep up. All right, so getting on to the government will plan of the suitcase. So, anyways, guys, we got more to get to. The Nashville Shooters Manifesto, the True Manifesto, was released. It was attached and somebody found a copy of it. Released by Tom Pappert. If you guys remember Tom Pappert, he ran National File. Tom Pappert's actually a nice guy. Really good guy. Used to follow him on Facebook when he did live shows. Anyway, filled in for AJ once or twice. Anyway, it got released, and instead of just looking and read a couple of the pictures here, We done got the whole thing, chat, all 45 pages. So, yes, the Tennessee Star has it. But, yeah, here is her. Which this just reads like MK Ultra shit right here. I mean, look at this stuff. This just reads like MK Ultra running around. You know, you will never be a man. That's true. Just craziness. Scribblings of a mad person? Oh, yeah, very mad. Very, very, very mad. As it gets better and better there. Pretty much right, Sean, yeah. Just keep reading this. It's like, yeah. It's all a lie, scammers. Cheating motherfuckers. Stay the fuck away from all of them. Pieces of shit. Like, I read this instead of Matthew Harris. Red flag shirts. Yes, job searches, commissions, socials, emails, TV contests. It's just, you keep reading this here. It's like, if I ever all day, it's because I need tap our love. I just want your love. I'm sad all day. That means I need you. This is just, yeah, I hate life. The internet is dangerous. People scam all for money. Money is filthy. It goes on and on and on, chat. Yeah, freelance failure shit. So, this is her talking just like, this is just, yeah. Yeah, this is just MK Ultra schizo posting right now. I mean, look at this, like the freaking. Yes, for like targets, yes. Yes, this is, she couldn't settle for being a lesbian. Yeah, it seems like it. It sounds like I got scammed again. I broke my figurine. It sounds like it's. Remember, Nick talked about those Transformers all the time that got stolen from him. What was that by like Miss whatever her name is, Gwen? I broke my figurine. My outburst was because I can't stop feeling. I hate to leave my animals, my art, and my possessions. The only real thing to me in this world and my love. A bunch of this they wrote as this, apparently she wrote a bunch of this as she getting ready to go in there and do work. And I do feel bad. Hopefully she left the animals, those were taken care of, because whatever puppers or whatever she had didn't deserve this. Like, I'm going to kill people tomorrow, someday. Please don't be mad. Well, yeah, we try to get mad when you want to kill people. So. It just goes on and on and on, chat. Just page after page. Oh, no regrets. And let's see what we can get to the end pages here. Remember me for the good things, Audrey. Nope, we don't remember you for the good things there. There's yeah. Remember me for the good things. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, champ. Oh. I need to pull out the random number generator, I know. That would be fun. We can end the shows with that. Death Day! Bum, bum, bum. Oh, she uses the umbrella logo. That's so cringe. That is so cringe with the umbrella logo. Oof. Today is the day. The day has finally come. I can't believe it's here. I don't know how I was able to get this far, but here I am. This sounds like a fucking Oscar speech right here. I'm a little nervous, but excited for the past 2 weeks. There were several times I could have been caught, especially in the summer of 2021. None of that matters now. I'm almost an hour and 7 minutes away. Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm ready. I hope my victims aren't ready. Well, you got fucking surprised when the police fucking punched your ticket, sweetheart. My only fear is if anything goes wrong. Well, that's how we all feel performance anxiety. It's like it's like performance psychology here, chat. I'll do my best to prevent any of the sort. God, let my wrath take over my anxiety. Man, you need a lot more. God's going to help you a lot more now. It might be 10 minutes. It might be 3 to 7. It's going to go quick. I hope I have high death count. I'm ready to die. Nah, haha. Audrey. Aw, she was ready to go out like a champ. Hey, I don't blame her. She was fired up and ready to go. She's like, I'm going to get the high score. Like, Resident Evil's always cringe. Yeah, but anything Umbrella, like Umbrella this or that is always cringe. It's like, really, stop. She should have joined a polycule. Yeah. Yes. Yes, love it 2 times is right. What the fuck? I agree. What the fuck? Yes, I remember the Nashville police showed Uvalde how it's done. Yes, they did. Oh. So. Yep. Yep, punching tickets. 14-year-old edgelords. Yes. Yep. Also, moving on from there, guys, there was a plea deal in one of the doctors involved in Matthew Perry's death. Remember, Matthew Perry. Why did they try to hide this for so long? Well, because it was craziness. Remember, it was very it was very pro-Troon. That's why. Why don't these people just self-delete? Well, there's a 40-some% chance they self-delete. So, in her case, the government had to help force it happen. All right, guys. Well, moving on from there, we only got 2 stories left. We got to hurry up here. Matthew Perry, if you guys remember, he died. Apparently, he died from a ketamine overdose. Apparently, like, if we went back through the indictment we read, just like $50,000 of ketamine, like every other day he was buying through his assistants. Those guys are just doling it out to him. They were out scooping up and hunting down all the ketamine they could find. Absolutely insane how they handled it, but they did. And that's what killed him. That's what eventually killed him. He overdosed on ketamine, took a long nap in the pool, and went bye-bye in the car. So the judge allowed a plea for one of the doctors. One of the doctors is probably going to plea an assist in helping the other 2 prosecute him. Remember, this is all concierge medicine. It's just like with Michael Jackson. You don't survive in this industry if you don't give up what these people want, if you aren't writing scripts. Yeah, and remember, one of the people involved in this called themselves the Ketamine Queen. So, yes, they were charged with manslaughter. Yep. So, one of the doctors has pled out, and he's likely to start helping. I love the freezing on that picture, by the way. So, one of the doctors entered a plea of conspiring to distribute ketamine. He pled guilty. He's going to enter the plea. So, yeah, he's likely going to start prosecuting against the other guys. So that'll be very interesting to see how this goes forward. Remember, it's in federal court, so we won't have the trial itself broadcast, but hopefully we get more and more information about it. But remember, he had assistants. His assistant kept on going out and getting the ketamine. And then the lady selling the ketamine, all he did was eat ketamine, apparently, man. So, yeah. And they say it was unscrupulous doctors who abused their position because they saw him as a payday to street dealers who gave him ketamine in unmarked vials. But yeah, remember, guys, the concierge medicine, it's like with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Remember how those doctors like, yeah, I just write a script for Oxys. I write a script for Valium, whatever. Done. Televisit, or you send the nurse out to meet with them. Okay, fine, write the script. That's concierge medicine. So, yeah. So this is what you get for killing the stepson of the lead Dateline correspondent. Abel says, I'm late. How's the Ohio weather treating you? Absolutely amazing. We've had stunning weather the past couple of days. Like, we've had that late September weather where it's like 70 degrees, and at night it's getting cold. It's getting really good. We're getting that late September weather already, which is pretty cool. All right, chat. And then the last thing that happened, I'm sure some of you are probably already aware about. The Brazilian Supreme Court upheld the banning of Twitter. And Twitter was banned in Brazil by law because under Brazilian law, you had to have people who were available to answer court process and court rules to combat misinformation. Ooh, boogie, boogie, boogie. So the Supreme Court accused, they said that Twitter believes that it's above the law, and the size of your bank account does not give rise to outlandish immunity. Nope, it doesn't. But apparently in Brazil, you face up to a $10,000 fine if you use a VPN to access Twitter as a private citizen. Yeah. Yep. Now, it's interesting. They initially ordered Apple and Google to remove VPNs from their stores in Brazil. But a court statement said the judge has since suspended this aspect of the order to avoid disrupting other companies. Isn't that funny? They started then to slam down on the other companies. But, we can't fuck around with too much because then it fucks with other money interest. Isn't that funny? Is it really about misinformation? Isn't that really about misinformation? Well, anyway, the scary part is you see things like in Newsweek, they're like, Brazil's ban spread to other countries. This caused other issues whether bans could occur in the other parts of the world, including the US and Europe. So yes, Brazil was shut down across the nation for 212 million people. Yes, Brazil, 20 million users on Twitter. Gone. Up in smoke. But the ban would be lifted when the court complies with all legal requirements, pays its fines, and appoints a legal director for the country. Until then, if you access Brazil as a peon, they'll fine you up to $9,000. That's awesome. That's what we want out of democracies, especially countries in the fucking West. We really want countries in the Western Hemisphere doing this shit. Yeah. Oh. So. Yeah, it's just like people are getting ideas here. Now, this is the scary part. A district court judge, hopefully he's retired, said in a writing here that while the reporting requirement does appear to place substantial compliance burdens on the companies, it does not appear it's unjustly or unduly burdensome within the context of the First Amendment. That is scary as shit, a judge is saying that. Absolutely scary. Well, it doesn't look like it violates the First Amendment. Really? Really? Oof. And Plead the Fifth says, why would the UK ban Twitter when they can arrest people for their posts? Yeah. Yep. And I did see here somebody said, well, can the rest of the world select Brazilian locales through VPNs to make it harder for them to identify actual users? I can't encourage you to go break laws in other countries, but hey, I'm saying that might work. It might be worth it. You might want to try it. Just be careful. Don't be naughty. If they're only banana Brazilians in gaming, they shit up games. Yes. Yes, that's very true. And Jim, hey Jim, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm sure all their citizens' devices have spyware on them so the government can monitor them. Yeah, Brazil has a big streak of not obeying the government, especially going like the favelas. So, well, kek. No, it's more like wrong laughing. Wrong laughing for Brazilians. It's for the Brazilians. It's more like wait. That's how the Brazilians laugh. Yes, a quote the great Chael Sonnen, Uncle Chael. The Brazilians play in the mud. Yes. Brazilians text laugh like KKK. Oh my God, chat. Oh my God. All right. So we'll see what happens. Godspeed to the rest of the world. Yes, you got to loop it through, Jonesy. Yeah. Yes. I thought I heard magma displacement. All right. Sounds like it's halfway to RFK these days. Yeah. So, person, just where will I go for my ass lift now? I don't know. All right, guys. Oh, 2 hours and 56 minutes. God, we had another monster show tonight. This big old girthy show. Normally we try to keep it about 2.5 hours. So I like trying to keep it 2 hours if I can. Sorry about that, guys. We just were on a tear tonight. T-Rex Trucking and More says, we're going to catch up on Super Chats here. I thought check caddies when you had 4 bank accounts and round robin bad checks to pay the first. This was just straight up check fraud. Well, I mean, I think you could call that check kiting too, but I always understood as check kiting was just writing bad checks and then taking the money out before it bounced. So, Cassie says, I'm 1 hour behind. If the feds had Chen under watch as she worked for the Blaze with 3 hops, that means they had company sources tapped. First chat didn't post. Yes, that's very possible under FISA if they were doing hops. If they were doing multiple hops, I'm sure that a lot of people's shit was getting read on the right. Probably not me. They already read my stuff anyway. But yes, I'm sure this also wasn't a convenient excuse for the feds to go intelligence sniffing throughout the rest of the right wing and the political right. They would never do such a thing, chat. Never in a million years. Never, ever, ever, ever. And WO says, what happened to Matthew Harris? He is in an asylum, like he's getting mentally restored. I think he was set for trial, but he still needs mental health restoration. So nothing's happened to him that I recall at this point. Hold on, chat. Sorry, chat. Look who came to see us. He was sleeping a little bit earlier. Oh, he was our boy. Just sweeping. He was, hello. Hello. He's being a good boy tonight. Being a good boy. Oh. Buddy. You're okay. You're okay. What's wrong? What's wrong? All right, hold on, guys. Clyde, I gotta put you down. You're getting a little out of the way here. Oh, look. You're okay, bud. You're okay. Come on. You're okay. It's all right. Watch out. Watch out. You're all right. I'm sure you guys heard him click-clacking his way around. He had all kinds of fun tonight. Hi, Bubba. You're a good boy. All right. So, I got my Clyde fixed. Yeah, Clyde's about to poop. I don't know. He was starting to wiggle a little bit. No doggo flesh tonight. No. Real quick, just double check on Rumble. Audrey Hill was a 20-year-old woman. Wow, yes. And Sarah Boone is super serial. Yes. Yes. You guys are funny. You guys are funny people. So, and Luke says, apparently, going back to Sarah Boone real quick, according to him, according to Sarah's attorney, okay, the James Owens guy, he was the first attorney to do the mock prosecutor presentation with her, which sounds about right since the rest were shit. Well, maybe the others tried to do it with her and she was an asshole too. I'm assuming like Cashman tried, but the other ones might not have gotten that far. So we'll see there. So guys, that is it. Thank you for everybody being here tonight. I appreciate everybody's involvement. Thank you, everybody. Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, and locals. Thanks, guys, for all your comments. I appreciate all the comments. They make the show fun. Obviously, it's more fun when we're all here hanging out. We are going to locals tonight. I say that, then everybody's like 10 minutes later, locals? Yes, we're doing locals. We're doing locals. We are going to do locals, I promise. So, oh, you guys are, yeah, I'm not going to answer those questions down there. But we are going to do locals, I promise. So we're going to locals in a minute. Guys, see you over at potentiallycriminal.locals.com. Remember, promo code Booger Sugar. Come hang out, guys. We're going to have fun. Lots to talk about that we aren't going to get to here. And, yeah, episode 129. 129 in a row. That's pretty cool. Didn't think I'd be doing it this long. But anyways, chat, just remember, actually, before we get that far, tomorrow we are going to look into what's going on with Carrie Morrissey in the Alec Baldwin case. She filed a cope motion. It's like 50 pages long and just Copenhagen. And she's just coping and saying, we need to put Alec Baldwin back on trial. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll cover the cope. And then also tomorrow is the deadline day for other people to file motions in a case. And we'll take a look at those when those hit the internet. I'm sure they'll be very interesting. I'm sure they're going to be full of great legal discussions and factual assertions. So we'll get to those tomorrow as it happens. And it should be a fun weekend overall. And I think there's F1 this weekend. Where's F1 this weekend? They are. We said the Dutch Grand Prix, and we had the Italian Grand Prix. Oh, we don't have no Formula One this week, chat. As Azerbaijan Grand Prix is next weekend, so no Formula One this week. Baku's the 15th, not this weekend. So we're not there yet. Who's going to cope as worse, Carries or the other one? We'll find out. We'll find out. So I've been unsubbed from here 3 times. Sorry, Draco. Twitter does that shit. I don't know why they do it. So Sunday NASCAR instead. NASCAR's too late in the day. And I'm not a big fan of NASCAR anymore. NASCAR's kind of gotten a little weak sauce. So F1 sucks. No, it does not. F1 is fun. It's amazing. Anyways, guys, we are all done for tonight. Want to thank everybody for being here. Want to thank Clyde for popping in for a second. Want to thank my lovely producer, Mrs. 2.0, future Mrs. Martin 2.0, for being here, being my producer, helping me get ready for tonight, as she always does. My muse. And then I want to say, chat, to you again tonight. Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Apparently that applies for Lauren Chen for right now. I'm not sure how long that's going to hold out. She should really get an attorney and look for one, because, like, oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Oh, my DMs. This better be important. Yes, I will do that as a promo code. So yes, chat. Good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys over in locals. Take care, everybody.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy